Hello, are we back? Okay, we're back, it looks like. Can you guys hear me? I think so, Marston. Because, like, apparently there was no way to just start restreaming from. Apparently, once you end stream, you end a stream, and you can't go back to it. So I have to. So this is an entirely new live stream I've had to make. YouTube sucks, man. Okay, so. But you guys can hear me, right? Okay, good. You can hear me. Okay. Okay. So, because that happened, if that happens again, I might just have to stop the stream. I apologize. I'm really sorry. If that happens again, I might have to just cancel and, like, I'll have to figure something else out for the future in order to, like, you know, to make a coffee, reward for donating. I might have to think of something else if that happens again. Because DaVinci is a pain in the ass. But welcome back. I'm wondering if I should wait for everybody else from that past live stream to, like, get back here, or if I should just continue where I left off, because this has already been going on for a while. We need to hurry this thing up and get going. That's a possibility. Marston, that's a possibility. I mean, I don't know how many people are willing to pay for that. Like, even if it's just $1 a month, how many people would actually be willing to like pay me money just to have me record a message for them? I want it to be something worthwhile. I want it to be something like they feel like I'm earning these donations. Not that your idea is bad or anything. It's just I don't know, these are just things I need to think about. But thank you for suggesting it. Thank you very much. So, Marston, SDZ, if you guys have any questions while we wait for people to come back. That's kind of just what this is. Anytime it's just like, well, we gotta wait for something. So, questions? It can be about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about RWBY Abridged or just abridging it all. Do you think you will do anything besides RWBY? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got a lot planned. So much. How was the RWBY community's initial reception to the Abridged series? Amazing. And it's something that I dearly miss. Something that I dearly miss. Deleting my YouTube channel initially is going to go down as one of my biggest regrets in life. Just absolute number one biggest regrets. If you're asking, it wasn't YouTube dealt when you're asking about, no worries, Marston. If you're asking, it wasn't YouTube dealt when talking about my channel? No, it wasn't. I got hacked one time. And because I was a dumb 20-year-old, rather than just wait it out and be calm-minded and, like, be chill about the whole thing and, like, be an adult and like, instead of doing all that, I hit the panic button just immediately. I hit the nuclear option and just deleted my YouTube channel. And it was the worst decision I ever made. Instead of handling it like an adult. That's the word I was looking for. Handling it like an adult. Instead of doing that, I panicked. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start because we need to get this thing going. I'm sorry for everybody else, but like I gotta get this thing started. So, last we were here, we were looking at this edit with this scene with Pyrrha.
Pyrrha.
And what about the scars on his back?
Pyrrha.
Look, I forgot, okay? All my says are just aura this and semblance that. Just these rules upon rules. Half of it doesn't even make sense.
Okay, so in the original, this is all her eyes look like. Just like this. So you couldn't see the top and you could barely see the bottom of her eyes. And I needed her to be looking all over the place, up and down and all around. So I took this shot of her eyes. This is a zoomed in version. I took this shot of her eyes and just kind of like made the rest of them. I just kind of like drew the rest of her eyes so I could have her look in all directions. Can't believe eyeless Pyrrha crashed DaVinci Resolve. I think if anyone crashed it, it was Ren. It was fucking Ren who crashed DaVinci Resolve. Because, like, I got it to open after I ended stream. I got it to open. And then I switched tabs while on this shot of Pyrrha's eyes. I switched tabs and it worked fine. But then I clicked on the shot of Ren talking and it crashed again. So I don't know what the fuck Ren's problem is. Anyway, that's how I did this scene. Okay, coming up. This might be my proudest edit in the whole episode.
Which is why we use pulses.
Shut up!
Will somebody tell me where this giant hat with a person attached came from?
Okay, this shot of Ruby. I'm so proud of how this came out. Because you see, this is one of those situations where I wish more people are here because I'm super excited to show this off. So, this is the original. Oh, good, the sound's back. That's good. So, that's the original shot. I knew I would use this shot of Ruby because, surprisingly, there aren't a lot of shots of Ruby being mad in Ice Queendom, so I have to, reuse a lot of them. I used this one a lot in episode 1, so I had to reuse it again. But the thing is, you might notice I needed to use this shot, but the thing is, in this scene, Ruby's wearing a different outfit. She's wearing her school uniform in the scene where they're all watching Jean. So, like, she's wearing a totally different outfit than she is in this scene. So, what I did was, I removed her outfit from the original, where it's just her neck. And then, I took this shot of Weiss from a different scene, and I cut out her outfit right here, and then pasted that on top of RWBY, and moved it up and down as she moved. And then I cut out this part of her hair and her outfit that would be covering it, and then pasted it on top of that. Then I cut this out. I cut that out from the original and put it over this background that I made using this shot of Shion, where I just mirrored it. And I love this edit so much because it's so seamless. And I'm genuinely wondering how many people even caught it. Like, it's so seamless and looks so good that you don't even notice it. You don't even notice that she's wearing that I changed her outfit to her school uniform.
Will somebody tell me where this giant hat with a person attached came from?
It looks so clean. So that's why I love this edit so much. I'm so proud of it. Oh, hey, we're getting people back. Good. I was checking chat again. Who's your favorite RWBY character? Glinda. I have not watched RWBY in a very long time, but I just remember really liking Glinda. So yeah, this RWBY shot, love it. So proud of it.
Wait, is she talking about me?
I don't remember if I included this scene no, I didn't. But yeah, very simple shot. I just, moved Shion's eyes to look this way.
Talking about me?
Perhaps it would be best if you introduce yourself before we begin.
Fine. But let's make it quick, alright? I got a package full of super illegal animal parts arriving soon, okay? Now pay attention while I bippity-boppity-boo this bitch.
That line was an improv by Dashi. Dashi Lee, the VA of Shion. That was improv by her. Bippity-boppity-boo this bitch. And I'm just like, mwah, perfect. I got it. I'm putting that in immediately. Dashi did so good as Shion. She's so perfect for them. Oh, hi, LH Gray. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. I think I'm going to have to speed through this because this is taking a while. I'm going to have to, step on the brakes a little bit.
What's up? I'm Shion Zayden. I've been chasing this rare grim called the Nightmare, and well, it led me here. These little bastards crawl under your skin and suck out your life force for food. This kid must have had a nasty-ass open wound for it to get him that fast.
You know, you've got a lot of nerve coming back to help me after what you did.
Help you? No. I just need my weapon back.
You know this makes us partners now, right?
How's that hole in your leg doing?
I think a spider might have crawled inside.
Worth it.
Fuck! So worth it, but also fuck!
I forget who mentioned it in chat earlier. I think it was Abby. But I was so happy to, bring that small joke back in Ice Queendom. Because when I thought of it, I was just like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Also, JC nailed this recording. God, my VAs are all so good. They're all so good and so talented. God damn.
Once the nightmare infects somebody's body, it becomes nearly impossible to remove them without killing the host. But I do have one way. I got it from an episode of SpongeBob.
Where would our world be without you, Robert?
That line from Osmond cracks me up. That he calls him Robert. That's so funny to me.
We have to go into his dream. These Grimm aren't called nightmares for nothing. Before they kill you, they trap you in this perfect dream world where all your deepest desires come true.
How is that a nightmare?
Okay, this shot of Glinda. Let's try and speed through these edits a little bit. Glinda does not originally talk in this shot. She doesn't speak. So I removed her mouth to like add the lip flaps. And the lip flaps that I gave her, anytime I need to like implant lip flaps, I'll usually remove the mouth originally just so that the closed flap isn't in the way. But Glinda's flaps in this scene are from Weiss in this scene. And the audio's gone again. Great, that's awesome, DaVinci. I love you. You're so good. Kiss me. Yeah. That's from that scene. Don't do this again. Don't crash again. Come on, man. Is every time the audio goes out, you're going to crash? Is that what's going on, DaVinci? No, Osmond is calling SpongeBob Robert. Because, you know, Bob, SpongeBob. Bob is short for Robert. Just Osmond calling him Robert cracks me up. Come on, DaVinci. Come on. Okay. Woo! This is fun. Ain't it? Y'all are so patient with everything. Not even just like waiting for like years and years for me to finish these episodes, but just patient is just like, you're willing to sit through this. You're willing to sit through this. This bullshit. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It worked. It's back. Oh, my God. Thank you. Okay, so next time it does that, next time DaVinci does that, we're just going to sit, and we're going to be patient, and it'll come back. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Because it's still,
Something funny?
yeah, that one.
Call back to episode 8.
So who in here wants to save this kid, huh?
Okay, this shot. Boy, this shot was a bitch. Boy, was it. So, to create the background, I took this shot from later in the series and messed with the background a bunch to create this. This was the background I used for this shot specifically. Because a lot of the times, I'll take if I need to create an original background, I'll take a shot and just mess with it a bunch until I get something that works. You'll see me do that a lot. And I took this shot of all the characters standing around during the panning shot earlier, and I cut all of them out. And this took a very long time. What's your favorite piece of RWBY fan content? That's hard to say, because goddamn, there are so many good ones. As I said before, man, the RWBY community is so talented. They're so goddamn talented. Your editing is so fluid. Thank you so much. Next shot. So yeah, that's how I created this. If there's one thing that upsets me, it's this part right here. See this part right here? See that? See that? See these two lines of Shion's wire that don't connect to each other? You're never going to notice it. But as the one making it, I was just like, god damn, it looks so bad. Oh. This shot is only on screen for like a second, but so you're never going to notice this, but it just pisses me off that I couldn't get a perfectly clean looking background. Same feeling with my art. Oh, Abby, you're an artist? That's so cool. That's really cool.
It's gotta be someone strong, though, like hella swole.
Well, obviously, the strongest one in school is my friend Peanut.
Okay, this shot of Weiss, like I said, just kind of try and breeze through a lot of these. The background, I took this shot of RWBY, edited a bunch to create this, and the shot of Weiss is from this scene.
しましたわ。しましたわ。
And I cut out that and gave her an editor lip flaps so she would be standing there, and that's how I created this.
Either stop talking about me or call me something else, please.
I'm trying, okay?
Okay, this shot, another shot where this scene with Shion is so short. It's so short. The shot of like this shot of Team Juniper. It's basically the only shot in this whole scene where the camera isn't focused on Shion. So anytime I had to have the character talk, not getting to you yet. Every time I had to have a character talk, I had to import them from somewhere else. So this scene of Weiss. This shot of Weiss, I mean. To create the background, I took this shot and messed with it a bunch to create this. And the shot of Weiss, this is the shot I used from when they're in Port's class. So first thing I did, not only did I cut it out, but I also removed the mouth because I needed her to talk, and she does not talk in this scene. She doesn't talk in this shot. So I removed her mouth, and also, you notice this pencil right here? Because she's not in class, she shouldn't be holding a pencil. So I removed the pencil as best I could. I think I did a pretty decent job. I still had to zoom in a bit because I couldn't figure out how to remove this bit. So I removed the pencil. And unfortunately, I don't remember where I grabbed these flaps from. I just straight up don't remember. But these are the flaps I used for Weiss to create this shot here. Hey, J-Chip, what's up, man? I have no mouth and I must scream. Love that. Oh, God, I do remember Henceforward. I do. I do remember that. That was like one of the first RWBY fan things that I ever found where I was just like, yo, this shit slaps. This is really good. I don't know how well it holds up now because I haven't gone back to it in a long time, but I remember loving Henceforward. Yeah, great to see you, J-Chip. Everybody say hi to my best buddy J-Chip in chat.
Hey!
Well, don't!
Great, because we have until this hourglass runs out before my package arrives. Oh, and your friend dies. So let's hurry up and send Peanut in before it's too late.
Pyrrha!
Yeah, her too.
You know what? Give me the nightmare. I'll live in a dream world. Sounds like fun.
Okay, this shot of Pyrrha, because I needed her to smile, and she never smiles like that in the original. So I removed her mouth, as I usually do, and the shot of her smiling is from this scene.
その調子よ。あなたのオーラはあなたが思う以上に豊かなの。
That's from later in the show where she's training Jean. And I just edited a bunch, messed with the colors a bit so it would fit more naturally into the scene. And that's how I got her to... And that's how I got this.
Hell, I already have one parasite leeching off me, and at least this one won't stick around for 13 years.
No, seriously, kids, I cannot let my landlord find yet another jar of frog testicles. I need to get home ASAP.
I love Xion.
So what now?
Now we wait. If they can somehow break the Grimm's hold on the dream world, it'll tear open a hole in his chest, and I can catch it. And no, it's not as awesome as it sounds.
I wouldn't say awesome is the first word that came to mind.
Okay, we get it. You're old and lame.
I'm not old.
Okay, so this shot of Osmond right here. This is an interesting case, and it's happened to me a few times. This is a really interesting case. So this is the shot I used for that scene. But the thing is, this is not from the Final Cut Blu-ray version. This is from the original version that aired on TV. This is from the Blu-ray version. This shot of Ozpin is from the Blu-ray. So this is the final version, the more advanced version. But the thing is, his expression here doesn't match with the tone / attitude I wanted to give him for that line. I wanted him to sound like concerned and disturbed. But there was no other shot in the Blu-ray that matched that. So I had to take this shot from the original TV version and use it. It's one of those instances that happens. It happened once in episode 1 as well, where the scene of Blake getting her phone out and seeing that she got accepted into Beacon, her expression in the final version didn't match. Sorry, her expression in the final version didn't match the expression I needed, but her expression in the TV version did. So I used that instead. It's one of those situations where I don't use the better animated version because the worse animated version, technically, quotes, worse animated version, usually the off-modelness makes it more expressive and cartoony, which works with the tone of that I'm giving the show. Kind of. I hope I'm explaining that well. But anyway, he doesn't talk in this shot, so the lip flaps are from this scene.
なぜリボンで真の姿を隠す?
Looking back at chat. I have seen Reversed Fates. Man, I love RWBY. I'm glad you're here to share all that, Abby. I like that you're sharing all this with us. Have you? And yes, I have seen Reversed Fates by Judgmental Critter. I have seen it. Judgmental Critter is cool. And she's a big supporter. And I really appreciate that. As a very small channel that doesn't get a lot of traction and who works really hard on his videos, I very much appreciate her support. Anyway, back to the episode. Oh man, we're about to pop off. things are about to get crazy with the edits. Things are about to get crazy.
To mind.
Okay, we get it. You're old and lame.
I'm not old.
So they're really inside his dream right now? I wonder what it's like.
No one cares.
Okay. First, this shot of Blake. This is funny. So, okay, so shot of Blake. First of all, I took this. I didn't have to change the background very much at all for this shot. It was good the way it was, so that was good. I took this shot from when they're in their dorm room. I cut Blake out, and because she doesn't talk, I took her lip flaps from this scene. So that's where I got her lip flaps from. But what's funny about this has really nothing to do with how I edit the episode. It's just something that I wanted to show off. So I was able to find the Blu-ray footage of Ice Queendom to use because it's much higher quality. And the Blu-ray version and the TV version, there are a lot of moments where it's strikingly different. It's shocking how different they are. There's a couple of moments that's like surprising how different they are. And to just give you one example, this one kind of blew my mind the first time I saw it. So what you're seeing right now is the Blu-ray version of this shot. This is the TV version. Yeah. Pretty different. There's more than this just example, but this is just one of the ones that I wanted to show off because just look at how different that is. Just blew my mind the first time I saw it, just how different these two were. Anyway, that's just a funny thing that I wanted to show off. But back to the edits, because there's another big one right after this. Well, not really a big one, just a edit similar to this.
Cares.
But yeah, I'm kind of with Blake on this one.
Okay, this shot of RWBY. To create the background, I took this shot, also of RWBY. I edited a bunch to create this mess. And then I imported RWBY from this scene. So you'll notice that RWBY just is this whole shot is just RWBY moving around a bunch. Her whole body is moving, her mouth is moving up and down, so I couldn't just import. So like I took a still shot from this and grabbed various lip flaps from different shots of the animation to make this. No, to make this. And that's how I created this shot of RWBY. Aw, see you later, J-Chip. Thanks for coming. See you later, dude.
But this is Jean's story. Maybe it's not as exciting as the rest of ours, but we should still...
You know what? I think we got all we need. Thank you, Mr. Ark.
Wait, but it's not over yet. Finally, that's over.
Yep.
There was an improv line by Error that I wish I had included. I put it up on my Twitter, but there's an improv line by her right after that that I love, where she walks away and she says, "Fuck, I need a drink." I wanted to include it, but it just wouldn't work, sadly. Anyway, this scene right here. Okay, so
yep,
this is one of those moments where I had to make an entirely new shot from scratch. So let's see. Let's look at how I did it. So what's your favorite Reverse Fate design? Again, it's impossible for me to say without having the designs in front of me, sadly. But they are really good designs. Anyway, so here we go. So I needed a shot of Yang because she needed to talk. She never talks in this scene, but I needed a shot of her talking. So I decided to use this shot from when they're in the dorm. So she's front-facing in this shot. So I had to make an entirely new background based on this background behind her. So in order to do that, I created this. This is the background. This is the full background. I created it using various assets, like so. This door, by the way, this door right here, that's supposed to be this door. If you can all see my mouse, that's supposed to be this door, and I got it from this scene later on in episode 12 when they're in the cafeteria. So this is the final product, and it's supposed to be a front-facing view of Yang. And I think, in terms of like creating a background from scratch to match the original, I think I did a pretty damn good job. Totally from scratch background. Not even like I took a shot from the original and edited around a bit. Totally from scratch. Made by me. Very happy with how it looks. The amount of... Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much. All your compliments just fuel me so much and really makes all this work worth it. Anyway, next, I had to do the exact same thing in a second.
We beat the nightmare. Shion caught it. John woke up. Everything worked out.
Another not fun beacon adventure.
Okay, so this shot, though, once again, Blake is next to a window. So the shot I used for the scene comes from this shot when they're in the dorm. That's the shot I decided to use. And since it's a side-facing angle, I had to put the window behind her. Like so. So I took this shot from later on in the series, edited a bunch to create this, and placed her in front of that. And once again, just looking at them side by side, I think it looks great. Like, I'm super proud of this. Sorry. Next. Sorry about that. Just checking. I'm just going back and forth between DaVinci and chat just to make sure I don't miss anything.
Sure.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
Weiss, you've been oddly quiet. I'm not still thinking about what Picasso said to me. Why would you say that?
Do you mean the artist or the girl you're a terrible friend to?
Hey, I've got an idea.
I bet it's the girl.
Let's go shopping again. Have some fun after all that nightmare drama. What do you say?
Fuck yeah, about time.
This shot? Okay, here we go again. Just give it a second to load. So that shot also didn't exist in the original. I took this shot from that same scene where they're in the dorm. So I cut it out, and I needed to create this background. Because this is the scene they were in. I needed to recreate this background from a different angle. And I would love to show you guys how I did that. But unfortunately, it was just so complicated and has so many moving parts that I'm just going to show you guys just like I'm just going to show you guys this. Okay, you guys want to know how I recreated this background? I took this shot. I did this to it. And then I did this to it. I added Yang eating a grape. And then I put Ruby in front of that. And that's how I made this background. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Rare that Ruby isn't hating being here. Yeah. Would you say editing for Ice Queendom is harder and or more time consuming than editing your OG RWBY Abridged? Absolutely. Because the thing with Ice Queendom, with normal RWBY Abridged, it's 3D. So I can't do big crazy edits like this, like everything you're seeing, where I can't, cut out characters and bring them into new scenes where they weren't originally, or make new backgrounds. I can't do any of that. So with normal RWBY Abridged, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Just sloppy editing, whatever I can do, just do it. I don't like with Ice Queendom, I'm happy that I have more control over the source footage where I'm able to do more crazy stuff, which I couldn't do with normal RWBY Abridged. But at the same time, as much as I love doing all that crazy stuff, it does take way longer. It takes way more effort. Like, you guys have seen this, right? We're only halfway through the episode. So yeah, Ice Queendom, definitely hard to edit. Definitely harder. But yeah, let's continue. Because the shot after this is shot right after this. Okay, so yeah, let's see if I can play that again.
Don't let her.
Come on, where are you? There we go.
About time. Don't let her rudeness get to you, Weiss.
Okay, so exact same shot I used earlier when they're around Jean, like exact same shot as you can see. Come on, DaVinci, you can do it. Once again, I used this shot of Weiss from when they're in class, but one thing that I made sure to include this time that I didn't include in the original was her little eyebrow twitch. That is in the original, so I was able to just import that over. So, and to create the background, I took this shot from episode 12 when they're about to start the food fight. That's why Weiss has a little bit of pie on her face right here. I took this shot, messed with it a bit to make it black and white to match the lighting of the original. And it's a bit hard to notice, but when Weiss does an inhale, her nose kind of like lifts up a bit. I made sure to include that detail too. Her nose kind of like lifts up as she inhales, just very slightly. It's easier to notice in the normal episode, in the footage.
About time. Don't let her rude.
If you guys saw that little like lift up a bit, that's her inhaling. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Oh, sorry about that. Let's keep moving.
Get to you, Weiss. We're going to go out, enjoy ourselves, and not get into any arguments. Nothing is going to ruin it.
Okay, so this shot, very simple one. Whoops. Where were we? There we are. Very simple one. This is the original shot. It says Vital Festival, welcome to Vale. I removed that, made it a blank sign, and then just put text on it that said shops. The text, I tried really hard to make the text like properly angled and everything. And I think it looks pretty good. I feel like I could have done better, but for what it is, I think it looks really good. So that's how I created that. I love RWBY Abridged. Excellent work. Thank you so much. Y'all are so nice. Stop being so nice. Come on. I do have to go to the bathroom really quick. I will be right back, so you guys please just hang in there. I do have to go to the bathroom, but I'll be right back. All right, I have returned, and Abby Collins, I thought about it. I think Penny is my favorite Reverse Fates design, just because Judgmental Critter draws her so adorably. I think that's got to be my favorite design. Again, I don't have the designs in front of me, but I think she's my favorite. Anyway, speaking of Penny, here we go. Penny was so good in this episode. Penny was so good in this episode.
To ruin it. I am a robot. Watch this.
Whoa, when did my face get all gross? Oh, bananas.
Damn it, Blake, look what you did.
Okay, so I let that whole thing play because there's so much to go over right here. Okay. Again, this is where a bunch of really big edits start coming out. But first off, this shot right here looks totally normal, right? Like, what could I have possibly done with this shot that's like wasn't there before? This is from the original, right? I added Blake in. I added Blake. She wasn't there before. Surprise! Yeah, I added her there just because I wanted to make it clear, like, immediately from the start that the whole Team RWBY was there, not just Weiss and Ruby. I probably didn't need to do that, but, like, there's not really a finish to that statement. I didn't need to do that, but I did. Wow. Chat's going by fast now. Oh boy. Hi everybody. What was the most fun RWBY Abridged episode that you worked on? What was the most difficult episode you worked on? Most episode you're satisfied with? Most fun Abridged episode to work on? Probably episode 6 or the finale. Most difficult episode you worked on? Probably episode 8? 8 or 7? Probably. Most satisfied with? The finale. I think the finale might be still the best thing I've ever made. Honestly. It's gonna be hard for me to... I don't want to die and have my magnum opus be RWBY Abridged episode 10. I don't want that. But it's so goddamn good. I'm just like, how the hell am I gonna top it? How the hell do I top episode 10? It's so perfect. And it's so amazing. And the fight scene is like, God. Any chance RWBY Abridged might return one day? I even support. If you were saying Patreon right there, a Grey Jedi, I do have a coffee, but I'm thinking of switching to Patreon just because it's more popular amongst YouTubers. I think I might switch to Patreon, but that's ultimately up to you guys. I genuinely would like to know what you guys think. If you guys would prefer I open a Patreon rather than a coffee. I would love to know if you guys... I'm not asking you to donate. I'm just asking for, like, your opinion. Do you think that'd be a better idea? No worries, Grey Jedi. No worries. No worries. I just wanted to clear up to make sure I understood what you meant. Yeah. You did support RWBY on Patreon when they were active. Man, I fucking miss RWBY. I miss RWBY, man. Anyway. Penny editing. Penny. Alright, so...
May robot watch this.
Okay, so this shot.
Whoa, when did my face get all gross?
Okay, save that part for later.
This.
Okay, how I did this scene. Probably can just delete stuff as I go to like make slow down less of a bitch. Oh, just one more thing to show while I'm there. I also changed RWBY's expression. I gave her this mouth. That's all I did for this scene. Delete that. Anyway, for Penny. This is the original shot.
違います。あなたです。違います。あなたです。
So, as you can probably guess, I reversed it. First thing I did, I reversed it. So she would turn her head towards the sky. Or the camera. Or whichever. And for this shot of her looking straight ahead, I changed her expression to give her a smile, which I took from this shot of Penny. So I took this smile from Penny and placed it on her here. And then... Right, okay. Just making sure. This is a video. To get her eyes to like glow up, first I took this still shot of Penny and like slowly added a green tint. Like slowly made this green. And then I cut out Penny's eyes, pasted that over the background, over the green tinted background, so that the whites of her eyes just slowly turned green. And then I cut out her pupils, and I made those glow green. Kind of hard to see since DaVinci is being so slow right now. But then I made her pupils glow green, and like pasted that over the shot of the rest of her eyes glowing. So that's how I made this. That's how I made her eyes charge up like this.
Whoa! When did my face get all gross?
And then for the lasers, I took this effect right here that I found online, of a laser firing. And then edited that to make them pop out of her eyes. Just like took that laser and like edited it to make it look like she was shooting lasers. So that's how I made that scene. Just looking at chat. Oh. Grey Jedi. Man. I mean, I'm sorry you were dealing with depression, but to know that I helped get through your depression, or if you're just referring to RWBY, if you're just only referring to them, then sorry, I don't want to take credit for that, but I hope you're doing better now. It sounds like you are doing better, which I'm very happy here. I'm very happy to hear. So I'm getting so into the showcasing how I edit. I'm getting so into it that I forget to check chat.
Oh, bananas.
Okay. This single second long shot of sun.
Oh, bananas.
Okay. Oh boy. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. I did not work on RWBY. Grey Jedi, sorry. I did not work on RWBY. I only spoke with them a few times. A few scant times. Anyway, sun jumping out of the way. The original is from this is the original shot. That's laggy. That's laggy. I apologize. But basically, he jumps on this guy and he jumps off. So I cut out sun frame by frame, and I wanted the laser to just barely miss him. Just like barely scrape his back. So I had the laser come in from off screen right behind him. That was the easy part, if you can believe it. So to create the background, I took this same shot and edited around to create a blank sky. And then I took this shot of port because, you know, this is all taking place within the school. This is not taking place in the city of Vale. I've changed it to like this is all taking place in the school. In the original RWBY Abridged, I was really banking on people's suspension of disbelief, as RWBY and friends are just walking around this obvious city, and I just had to pretend that they were still inside the school and hope people didn't notice. But this time, I was able to like actually manipulate the footage to make it so that they were still inside the school. So for this scene, I took this skyline right here of like Beacon-esque buildings that are obviously in Beacon Academy, and I pasted them in the background down here. And then I took this building, just because there are buildings around, I couldn't just have a blank sky. I took this building from this shot of Blake sitting on it. I took this building from another shot with sun, this building in the background right here, and used them to create this background. This is the full background. So like, oh, I had to remove Blake's legs there, I guess. Yeah, a lot of pieces to this. But that's how I made this background. And then I added just a shitty looking telephone pole because before Penny shoots the laser at him, he's hanging from a pole. So I had to have him jump off of it. So I created this. Because see, before she shoots him, he's hanging from a pole. So I had to include the pole in the shot. So that is how I made that. All of that was just for this 1 second shot of him jumping away.
Oh, bananas. Oh, bananas.
Just catching up on chat. Oh, that's so much more work than I thought. Thank you, Quinn. That's exactly what I wanted to show off. Just like how much work this is. How much effort I put into it. Because I am proud of what I did. I am proud of all this editing I did. And the fact that you didn't notice it, the fact that you don't notice it, is the best part. Because like that just shows how seamless the editing is. That you don't even notice that this shot didn't even exist in the original. It's one I handcrafted myself. That makes me so happy. Alright, but like, okay, so this shot of the building exploding. This is a very simple shot. But as you might have guessed, this is not from Ice Queendom. I needed a shot of a building exploding, and that obviously didn't exist in RWBY at all, in Ice Queendom at all. So I had to take this shot from another anime. And I kind of just want to play for you all the anime scene that I took this from, just completely out of context. Just show you all this scene with no context and to get your reactions. You know, shoved some bombs in her mouth, kicked her out the window, said happy birthday, I think, and then detonated it. Just kind of wanted to show you all that without any context. What show is that? I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I just kind of wanted to show you all where that shot comes from and how just like... how just what the fuck. Yeah, anime is crazy, exactly. I know. No context. This scene is absolutely insane, right? That's why I wanted to show it. Anyway, but to create the explosion, I just kind of like started with a blank white screen and then, you know, took that same laser from earlier and just kind of like, you know, it's hard to explain with words, but you can see what I did. I added in the laser to the scene and then zoomed out to make it look like, to make it like blend in, and then slowly faded it out. But yeah, that's how I did that. Just hold on, just gonna stretch a bit more. Oh, no worries, James. James Marston. Sorry. I called you by your avatar's first name. No worry, Legendary Marston. No worries. Hope you have a great day. Alright. Let's continue.
Damn it, Blake! Look what you did!
Oh sure, blame the terrorist every time a building blows up.
Okay, this scene, this shot right here, I'm also pretty proud of just because of how good it looks. Because, like, moving lip flaps are a pain. Moving lip flaps are a huge pain. And it's really hard to make them look really good. But I think I did pretty well here.
Oh sure, blame the terrorist every time a building blows up.
I think I show that off. No, I don't. Okay, just checking. Delete all this so that hopefully DaVinci stops chugging.
I
let my past
believe
go.
you.
Why do
How
you
could
keep
you
bringing
act
it up?
like
Is
this?
it
Are
because
you
I'm
even
a
listening?
faunus? So are we not going shopping?
Okay, this shot of Yang, very simple. This is the original.
あなたは立てる
Whoops.
あなたは立てる
So very similar. It's just I had to zoom in to remove Blake from this shot. Because, you know, Blake's arguing with Weiss. She's not in this shot, so I had to zoom in. But unfortunately, I couldn't zoom in enough to that I could cut out Blake without it looking weird. So I had to move Blake to the side a little bit. So that's what I did. I copied and pasted this building background over here so I could move Blake further in so it would be easier to zoom. It's not a massive edit, but still looks good, don't it? Still looks good, don't it?
Just not now.
Oops.
Going shopping?
Yang, just not now.
Okay, so this shot, another shot that didn't exist in the original. Another time where I had to take a character from another scene. So this is the background that I decided to use. And I edited a bit to create this. And the shot I used for RWBY is from this scene on the ship.
やだ、目立ちたくない。知ってる子が誰もいないのに入学。やだ、目立ちたくない。知ってる子が誰もいないのに入学。
Probably didn't need to replay that. Don't know why I did. Okay, so that's where that scene comes from. That's where this shot comes from, I mean.
Best friend, your teammates appear to be irritating you. Are you sure you wish to wait until tonight before we escape?
Yes, Penny. Now get out of here and don't let anyone see you.
I use this back shot of RWBY a lot in this episode. It's a very easy, like, solution when I need RWBY to have, like, say something or an expression that's just like, it saves me time from having to find it somewhere else in the show by just having it be the back of her head. So if you're wondering where it comes from this scene. It comes from this scene right here, where she's in the garden looking for Weiss.
こんなんじゃ、ビーコンにもいるべきじゃないって言われちゃうかも。
それはわからないな。
So I cut out each frame of her and reversed it. So if every time in this episode, most of the times, you'll see her just lower her head. In the original, she raises her head.
それはわからないな。
So that's that. So anyway, the background is just this shot of RWBY here. And now, okay. Now for this scene. Here we go.
Affirmative.
Was the reason the girls... Before we get to that... Was the reason the girls have different voices in the dream world because you dislike voice acting? Or were there other reasons? Yes to both. Yes, because I dislike voice acting. Also, thank you very much that you think I do a really good job. Thank you very much. But yes, it was because I dislike voice acting, but also... I don't want to give spoilers, but there's a story reason as well of why the voices are different in the dream world. There's a story reason as well. I have a lot of really cool plans for Ice Queendom Abridged. I have some really cool plans, and you can hear the smile on my face because I'm so excited. But okay, let's do this. Let's do this scene right here. This fucking...
Affirmative.
This took a very long time. So, first things first. Here's the original. This is the original shot. Once again, I reversed the footage. Just gotta check back in the chat. Thank you, Abby Collins. You're so sweet. Everything you're saying just makes me smile. So this is the background that I used. It's just a shot from when they're chasing Sun earlier. This is the background. So I cut out Penny from... Well, first let me show you the lip flaps. Because Penny does... As you can see... Penny doesn't talk in that scene. So I had to get her lip flaps from somewhere else. So I got them from... I took them from Yang. In this shot. I don't know why I didn't have audio for this. Why... Like, it's not even like DaVinci is mute. It's like there's no audio. But anyway... The flaps I used for Penny came from Yang here. But yes, I took this scene of Penny jumping up and cut out each individual frame. Each and every one. This was a... And to create this effect, this whole thing is just multiple different effects, like, layered on top of each other. So you've got, like, multiple dirt smoke effects. Like smoke effects, like dirt, and, like, just, like, this hole right here. This, like, Bugs Bunny-ass rabbit hole. And then the water spout exploding. You know, you can see it. You can see all the effects that I did. I don't want to play it because it's not going to play. It's just going to chug. But you can see it. Like all these. It was a lot. It was a lot. And what do you get? You get this. Yeah, that did take forever, Quinn. That felt like it took longer than forever. Can you all still hear me? I just want to make sure stream is still going good. Okay, good. Good. That's good. All right, delete all of this because I don't want to look at it anymore. It's giving me bad memories of how long this edit took. But whoop. Hold on. Let me get. Okay, we're good now. Okay. All right, moving on from all this. I'm glad so many people liked this scene of Penny digging into the ground. I'm really glad a lot of people liked it. But oh my god, it took forever.
Just like she was when we were kids.
Now for a much easier edit. This shot of Yang, again, didn't exist in the original. So I took this background right here, messed with it a bit to create this. And the shot of Yang, once again, from the ship in this scene.
大丈夫よ, Ruby.
Much easier edit this time. That one was much easier to do. Unlike this next edit you're about to see.
She tried to vaporize you all the time.
Yeah, but my little superhero sis was always there to save me. And to repay my life debt, I'm gonna protect you just the same.
Okay, so yeah. First off, before we get to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
These bits of Yang's arm and head coming in from the background. The arm is from this shot. So I cut it out, reversed it, so that it would come over Ruby's shoulder here. And then the shot of Yang peering over is from this shot.
友達作ればいいじゃない. 友達作ればいいじゃない.
I cut it out to create this, and then leaned that over into the corner. Took this and then leaned it over. And that's how I got Ruby to, and that's how I got Yang to, like, jump on top of Ruby. Ruby was the first anime I back in 20. Oh, cool, Grey Jedi, cool. Sorry, sorry if I'm like unsure of what to say a lot of the time to chat because I just love interacting with you guys. Just the first sentence I read of Abby Collins' message. Man, you fuck with the footage so much. How many of the scenes are untouched from the original? Maybe half, if I'm being generous. Maybe half in this episode are untouched. Maybe. It might be less. So yeah, there's this, like I said at the beginning of the stream, episode 2 of Ice Queendom Abridged may be the one of, like, it might be up there with the finale as the most ambitious video I've ever made. And speaking of which...
Yeah, but my little superhero sis was always there to save me. And to repay my life debt, I'm gonna protect you just the same.
Guess what? Seriously, guess. Guess what? Yep, that's right. I had to take that from another scene.
大好きな妹と一緒にビーコンに入れるなんて最高! 2年も飛び級したんだから、きっと天才少女って言われるわよ。
That whole thing, I had to cut out. As you can see here. And the background is just this shot. Thankfully, I didn't need to do anything with the background. I just took this shot of the scene where Blake is running away and just pasted it over that. So that was lucky. This, on the other hand, took a long time. Okay, I think now, I know this is insane to say, but I think now we've reached the halfway point. I think now we're halfway done. Let me check for sure. Yep, we're halfway done. Halfway. I need to speed this up. I have a podcast to record tomorrow, and I need to save my damn voice. So let's speed through this. Let's go.
Your big sis bodyguard from now to the end of time.
This is in episode 1. I like how I using this one blank later. In episode 1, I used 1 day later, and then 1 bird later, and then what was it? It was like 0.6 episodes later because the next scene took place in the middle of episode 6. But I like this 1 part 1 later. I like that wordplay. It's cute.
So, the little shit's finally gone.
Okay, so this Ruby's letter right here. So if you've seen the finale of RWBY Abridged, you'll recognize this letter. This is the original. This is what I had to remake in the Ice Queendom format, in the Ice Queendom style. So I had to remake this letter. So here's the full letter without any of the this is the blank version. Sorry, I'm not using my words correctly. This is obviously I put it on the bed and added some lighting to it and changed its positioning a little. But this is the blank version. This is the normal version I made. And the way I made this, well, first, this to everyone, it's just some text I threw together. I tried to match the same font as the letter. This RWBY signature is just something I found online. Thankfully, that was easy to find. Because, it's here in the corner. Thankfully, that is consistent. That's consistent with how RWBY writes her name. So I was just able to find that online. But for the text, I didn't want to actually write a letter out. Because, in the original, you can't really read this. It's just a bunch of scribbles. So I didn't want to write any actual text and have it actually be readable. Because 1, that would take too much time, and 2, I couldn't really think of what exactly she would write. I like it better that it remains ambiguous. So the way I made this text is I took this shot of Blake reading Ninjas of Love, and you see all this text on the back of her book. You see all of this right here? That's the text I used. And the way I got that is I did this to the footage. I made it black and white, and I adjusted the contrast and everything so that I could get this text to look cleanly black, cleanly white on black, as best as I could, and then cut out these letters and the best I could, and then put them in a specific order to make it look like it's all one line. Because as you can see, the footage is it bends because of perspective. So I took different parts of text and I edited them together to make flat sentences. So that's how I made the text on this letter. And that's how I made the letter in general. Let me look at the chat. Whose character arc in RWBY Abridged do you think you wrote the best? I really like Ruby and Weiss's storylines. Thank you. It may not be the best, but I'm biased just because I love Blake's arc so much and what I did with Chibi Ruby. Of how Yang... Just talking about, normal RWBY Abridged. What was I saying? Right. Yang and RWBY Abridged, how she has this imaginary version of Ruby that she likes to talk to whenever Ruby ignores her. And, realizing and at the end of the finale, you see her just think she's a terrible sister, and that really gets to her. So when I don't want to just recap what happens in the finale, but basically everything that happens with Yang in the finale, I love. The way Chibi Ruby, she realizes that she doesn't need Chibi Ruby anymore, so Chibi Ruby fades away, and that during the climax, it's Ruby, after spending the entire episode thinking that she's a bad sister, the fact that it's Ruby saying I love you is a thing that allows Yang to power up and beat the villain. Like, that's the thing that gets her going. I love that. I love what I did with Yang in the finale. I love these characters, man. I love these characters. I love what I've done with RWBY, Team RWBY. Just, these are my babies, man. These characters are my babies, and I love them. Okay, here we go. Back to the crazy edits, because things are about to go crazy again. Get ready, everybody. Seatbelts.
So, the little shit's finally gone. After all that immature talk about being kidnapped, part of me didn't think she had the nerve to go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going after her, are you?
No.
This shot right here. Oh, I'm giddy just saying it. This shot doesn't exist in the original. This is another shot that I made totally from scratch. This whole shot right here.
You're not going after her, are you?
No.
So how I made this was I took this shot to create the background. First I took this shot of when she's talking to Port, which, by the way, this scene right here and another scene that I'm going to show later on, or like use later on, those are pretty much the only two scenes that take place within Beacon. Like, cause this show, once it gets past episode 2, once it gets out of the Emerald Forest and actually in like episode 3, this show just goes just like super fast. It just like pedal to the metal, just like, all right, boom, 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 boom. Let's just speed through the rest of volume 1. Let's speed through everything. So this shot is pretty much the only, this shot and this scene with Weiss and Port and another scene with RWBY and Osmond are basically the only shots in all of Ice Queendom, in the whole anime, that take place within Beacon. So I have to use every little bit of these two shots that I can. Anyway, so what I did was I took this scene of RWBY talking to Port, Weiss talking to Port, sorry. I took this shot and edited a bunch to create this background for the scene I was making. And then Weiss is the Weiss I used from this shot.
Companyの重役というだけで殺された。
Of her turning her head like this.
Companyの重役というだけで殺された。
And then the Yang's shot, I took this scene that we saw earlier when I was making a Weapons Magazine studio. I took this shot of Yang sitting because, you know, there's a bench right here. I wanted her to be sitting on that bench that existed in the original. So I took this shot of Yang sitting. But since she doesn't talk in this shot, I cut her out and removed her mouth. And then I took the lip flaps I took to make her talk are from this scene. So throw all of that together and you get this. That looks like an original scene. I know! I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself for how well for how much I did for this episode. And it continues from here. Like this very next shot.
Then come on, help me find Blake. Then come on, help me find...
This shot of Weiss walking away. That's not in the original either. That's another completely made from scratch shot. It's from this scene in the forest.
さっさと進みますわよ。
Sorry, DaVinci lagged. I'll play that again. Play that again.
さっさと進みますわよ。
Come on.
さっさと進みますわよ。
Okay, maybe I need to do some deleting to like clear some space. There we go. But yeah, I took that shot of Weiss walking away. I took that same background that I used for Weiss turning to create the first part of the background. And the other half Remember earlier I was talking about how there's only 2 scenes that take place inside of Beacon? Weiss talking with Port and Ruby talking with Ozpin. This is from that other scene. So I used a lot of this shot right here. I used a lot of it as well because it's the most of Beacon that I could get, because like Ruby takes over the right side of the frame and Ozpin is like just in this small part right here. So all this background right here, all this background with nothing in front of it, that's free real estate for me. So this is the full background that I used, created using those 2 shots. Oh, you love the shot of Yang holding Ruby's letter. Yeah. This shot right here. Yeah, I love it too. I love it too. This shot, also completely original. The way I made it was, I'm getting into this now. I just love talking about all this. I just love talking about editing because it's what I love doing. I took this shot of the bench. I took this shot specifically and edited together to create this somehow. It was a lot of steps. Just believe me when I say it was a lot of steps to create this out of this. And this transparent Yang right here, I don't know why that's there, but that comes from this shot, which is from much later in the series where she's sitting on a different bench, which is where I cut this scene out of. And I pasted the letter, I adjusted it a little bit, put it under Yang's arm, and that's how I made this. This is basically, this is crazy to me. This whole scene, this whole section right here is basically a scene I made entirely from scratch. A scene I made myself. And honestly, I think I'm not a bad storyboard artist. I think in terms of like storyboarding a scene, I think this is a good example of like my skills at doing that. Before I move on to the next shot, checking on the chat. Heck yeah, man! Excellent, thank you. I love the hearts. I love the Team RWBY colored hearts. I love that. Stretch some more. Y'all are so kind.
Been ignoring my calls after our fight.
Weiss.
Okay, this shot of Yang. That shot of Yang. To create the background, I took this shot again. Messed with it to create this monstrosity. And then the shot of Yang is from this scene.
気分転換
Where they're in the cafeteria.
気分転換
I cut Yang out. Oh. Back to the eyebrows. Y'all remember the eyebrows? How I edit the eyebrows to make characters change expression? Well, this time, Yang is totally normal in this scene. She's kind of like normal blank expression, but I needed her to look sad. So I removed her eyebrows, drew over them, painted over them, and this is a bunch of layers right here. So remove that. I took the eyebrows and repasted them, put the hair over it, and like curved them a little bit to make her look sad. And it's hard to see because, it's hard to see when you just look at the eyebrows, but yeah, that's how I got her to, so I changed her expression that way. Eyebrows, if you ever want to edit anime footage, if anyone in here in chat ever decides to make an abridged for some reason, you probably won't by the end of this stream to see how much work it is, but just subtle changes in like the eyebrows or the eyes, it does a lot to change a character's expression. It goes a long way. You could definitely do this professionally. Thank you. You think so? You really think so?
Weiss.
Listen, Yang, stop trying to act serious. It doesn't suit you. Do something random, like build a jetpack or turn yourself into soup or something.
I know.
Okay, so this shot of Weiss walking away.
Weiss.
Listen.
Okay, so... Oh boy. Okay. There's so many... This scene goes so hard. This scene goes so hard with the edits. So this is the original. As you can see, this is from when they're in the Emerald Forest. So, I mean, first of all, you'll notice Weiss doesn't talk as she's walking. So I took the lip flaps of her, like, gasping when she stops. And edited those to make her talk. By, like, moving those, like, editing those to make lip flaps and then just bopping them up and down as she walked. And to create the background, I once again took this shot, panned it down so it would look like Weiss is walking away. Like that, like so. And then you'll notice this wall right next to her. That's this building. That's this building right here.
On, help me find...
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Where are you? There you go. Almost there. Okay. That's this building. The wall is that building. Unfortunately, no matter how hard I looked, I could not find a good brick wall to use from Ice Queendom for this background. So, unfortunately, I hated doing this because I knew it wasn't going to fit in entirely. But I found this wall texture online. I used this that I found online and just kind of like, you know, adjusted the colors, the contrast to make it look kind of anime cartoony-ish, added some lighting, and panned that like so. And that's how I made the background for Weiss to walk behind. Not my favorite thing to do, you know, taking a realistic texture and throwing it into this anime world, but it's not that bad. You can barely notice it. Just reading the chat some more. What's your favorite Juniper outfit from Ice Queendom? John's matching hat and scarf are super cute, but Pyrrha's way. I gotta go with Pyrrha. Jean is just like, he wears a scarf and a hat and some gloves, I think. So there's not much change there. So I'm gonna have to go with Pyrrha. Have you heard of RWBY? Have you heard of Doki Doki Tsuna's RWBY-inspired project Ladybird? I have not. I'll have to check it out. Sorry I didn't answer your question earlier about RWBY Quest. All I can say is no, I haven't. I haven't read that. Continuing.
Serious, it doesn't suit you. Do something random, like build a jetpack or turn yourself into soup or something.
I know you guys didn't always get along, but don't you care that she's gone? She was part of the team.
I never wanted a team! Oh.
Okay. So it goes by so fast. It's so hard to notice. But I wanted to make sure it's there. Like I said, I want to do as much as I can to really sell the fact that this is taking place inside the School of Beacon. And if that means changing the background for even just a split second, even though no one's going to notice it, I have to. Because this is my show, and I do what I want. My throat's giving out. I need to get more water here soon. But Weiss turning her head. This is the original shot. As you can see, barely a noticeable difference, right? The only big difference that I made is this background right here. You'll notice I changed it to be a tree because there were trees earlier in the shot. And there are trees all over Beacon. This is like taking place in like the courtyard where there's plants and everything. I didn't need to, but I did. Unfortunately, that required cutting out Weiss frame by frame for this entire time she turns her head. And I got that shot from this scene once again where RWBY talks to Osbin. Took it from here and pasted that behind Weiss to create that. I know I really didn't need to, but I was determined, damn it. I did nothing in the original RWBY Abridged. I did nothing to make it look like the Team RWBY was still inside of Beacon during that whole finale. I did nothing to make it seem that way. So I had to really go all out to make sure I did with this finale. So much care put into this. Yes, I do. I do put a lot of care into this. This show is my pride and joy, man. Who would you guys ship the RWBY? Because in my opinion, RWBY is the best and only ship option. Oh, thank you. I did. Hi, Brandon Wong. Didn't expect it to see in my recommended. Well, if you're new here, hi, I'm a RWBY Abridger, and I'm showing off how I edit RWBY Abridged. Are we getting a RWBY Abridged for Volume 2 or Volume 3 anytime in the future? Unfortunately, no. Sorry to break it to you. And also, I don't want to get into shipping because apparently, I don't, just from what I hear, apparently RWBY community is very, like, protective of certain ships. I don't know. That's just what I hear. So I don't want to, like, piss anybody off or anything. All right, next edit. This one's also a super quick one and barely noticeable, but I wanted to make sure it was there.
I never...
You notice Yang looks sad in this one shot?
I never wanted a team!
Because she was sad talking to Weiss before she interrupted her. This is how she looked originally. She was angry with Weiss in the original, before Weiss yelled at her. So, what I did, I removed the eyebrows, first and foremost. Like I said, removing eyebrows, I do it a lot if I want to change a character's expression. A lot. And I replaced it with this eyebrow, which once again, I used a piece of hair to cover it up so it wouldn't just be floating there above the hair. And I used this eyebrow from this shot, when this one frame, when Yang's backing off from Weiss. I took that and just pasted it at the beginning, so she would look like that the whole time. Like, you can see the difference. You can see these tiny, just changing the eyebrows just a little bit, can completely change a character's expression. So they're very useful for when you want to, you need a character to look a certain way, but there's no shot of that in the original. Just changing the eyebrows subtly can really go a long way. Thank you. Just reading chat. Keep with the questions if you want, because I'm gonna keep reading chat. Keep on with the questions. Any questions you want, I'll answer them all, RWBY related or not.
I never wanted a team! All I've wanted since stepping foot on this filthy academy is to go home!
I don't even think I need to say anything. I think it's obvious what I did there. But in case it's not obvious, This is the original shot.
リーダーになれずリーダーになれず
Again, this doesn't look like Beacon. I needed to change that. So I took this shot from, you know, a scene of the courtyard. The only scene in all of RWBY that takes place in the school. I took this shot from it. I cut out the background, this part of the background. I cut out all of this. Pasted this shot over it with the tree. And then added some lighting to like make it blend in better. It's when I love that when you look at the original and then my edit side by side and you see just how like seamless it is. I mean, it's not completely seamless. You still got that part right there. Or do you? Is that in the original? Nope, I fixed that. I put a little thing right there. Good. Good. I forgot to show that off, but yes. So when you look at my version and the original version, that it just looks so good. It just looks so good. Do you edit professionally? I wish, man. Look at me. Listen to me talk. I love editing. And I would love to edit professionally. I want to do this as a job. I want to be an editor. I mean, I just graduated with my bachelor's degree, by the way, in case you all didn't know. I put it in community tab, but I just graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I graduated in cinema studies, and I'm Avid certified, so yeah, I'm going to get a job as an editor. At least that's the plan. I want to be an editor on a big movie production. That's what I want to do. This year, specifically. So yeah, I would love to edit professionally. In fact, after this stream is over, I mean, like, not even just hypothetically. I'm not asking anything of y'all in the chat, but just hypothetically. Would y'all hire me, looking at just what I've done so far? Would y'all hire me to edit your videos for you? Because I am thinking of opening up commissions. And, like, opening up, like, because, you know, now that I'm out of school, I want to be able to support myself. So, do y'all think I'm good enough to be hired as an editor? Just like to make YouTube videos for people? For money? Alright, I'm reading Abby's comments about Doki that person. What show would you like to pick up in the future? That's spoilers. Shush, shush. Cannot say. Quiet, quiet. Got lips are sealed. Thank you all for the congratulations. Thank you all very much. All right, let's keep going. Where was I? Ah, yes, here we are. Okay, now we can take a break from the big edits for at least 10 seconds.
The only reason I've been so nice is because what else am I supposed to do? Nobody likes sour milk, Yang.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know.
One of my favorite lines in the episode. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know. Man, Weiss is going through it.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's go find Blake.
And unfortunately, we come to one of the roughest edits of the episode. One of the absolute roughest. Oh my god, this shot right here. I hate it. I hate this shot. Took forever.
Okay. Let's go find Blake.
Okay, so let's just, as always, let's go through this one piece at a time. I feel like this one might take a little while, but let's see. First, here is the original. Here's the original shot. So once again, I had to completely change the background because this is not where they were just standing. This is not in Beacon. Look at this giant statue. This is clearly not in Beacon. So if any shot needed to be changed, it was this one. So I made a completely still version of this shot without the pan, just one long image, and then I took this shot of Ruby in the Beacon Garden. Took that shot. Oh yeah, I raised the ground a bit to like remove the statue just entirely, like so. And then I pasted the greenery and everything over that. And then I turned this house blue for some fucking reason. I don't remember why I did that. I just straight up don't remember. I guess I just wanted a blue house. I wanted the house to be blue. I guess. And, you know, since this is a moving, since, you know, look at this water right here. There's water right here. The water is perfectly still, so I couldn't just use this still image. So I cut out the water and used the video of it moving around. Sorry, let me zoom in. Like, look, I couldn't just use this because the water is just standing perfectly still. So I cut out the water here. You can kind of see it moving there. And finally, I got this. This is the final shot that I used. And then I just took this scene and just panned it the same way it panned in the original. And that's the long explanation of how I made this shot. Yes, that is Nightmare Weiss. Going back to the chat. I couldn't have a blue house, so I did in the animation. Yeah. That's probably why. That's probably why I did it. Hey, J-Chip! Welcome back, dude. We're just barely halfway through the episode. I'm trying to speed it through, but there's a lot to go over. Hope you had a good day at work. All right, let's continue. We got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. See, now we're in the city. So like everything past that, I had to make sure it looked visually different. Because now that we're in the city, now we can have like buildings and shit in the background. Also, I mentioned this in the finale, in the RWBY Abridged finale commentary. But the way I like to separate what's going on inside Beacon from going on inside the city, since I can't do it visually, at least in the finale, since I couldn't do it visually, I couldn't change backgrounds and stuff, I did it through audio. So like at Beacon, all you would really hear as background noise would be like the wind blowing or like students chattering in the background. So I made sure that like you only hear that when you're at Beacon, but whenever there's a scene that's supposed to take place in the city, you hear like car noises, like a lot more chatter, like just general street noises. I made sure to have that only take place in the city to like differentiate the two, because you know, because it was just hard in RWBY because like I changed the source material, I changed the story too much, and it fucked me over the way that like I rewrote the story. It made things so much harder, and thank God people still like the finale because there were so many moving parts to that, and so much stuff that just like no matter how much I edited the footage, just would not work together the way I wanted. Anyway, sorry about that whole rant. Let's get back to how I edited this episode.
And so he told me, I have a dad face. Like, what does that even mean? I don't look like a dad, do I?
Okay, first of all, that's Cube. You guys saw him earlier in chat, but that's Cubicle Wings as a nobody's dad. He's nobody's dad. That's his literal name in the script. He's just a random guy. And the way I got this random guy... Hold on, let me look at chat real quick before I showcase that. A lot of new messages. Else have snow where they are. No, I don't currently have snow. Into it, you can tell. Looking through the chat, looking through the chat. Cube is indeed daddy, you're right. Okay, so no new questions, just making sure. So this is the original shot. That's the original. And the background, I just took this shot of Blake looking downward. The camera looking downward at Blake. So that's how I got this scene.
Do I?
This shot of RWBY by herself. Very simple, kind of. I mean, it's simple what I did. The edit itself wasn't simple. I took this shot where she's sitting next to Penny and just removed Penny.
Oh no, she's back.
What's wrong?
That homeless girl. No.
Okay, this shot is interesting. Man, my back hurts. Oy vey, I'm doing a lot of stretching, sorry. Okay. So this shot of nobody's dad. So the thing with this shot is that it's originally from this scene. So as you can see, the lighting in this scene, this is taking place at night in the middle of the street, so there's this bright contrast of light on him. So this lighting is totally different from the rest of the scene. So it was just like, how am I going to use this shot with such different lighting and not have it look out of place? Thankfully, I found the perfect shot to use as a background for it. This scene with Weiss and Blake, which also takes place in the city. Very similar lighting.
それを破壊活動に用いる気はない。そうよ。私だって学長と信念は同じ。
So I was lucky to find this scene. So what I did was I took this half of this shot with Weiss, and this shot, and this half with this shot of Blake, and like put them together and just put him in the middle of it. So thank God it worked out, because I think, like, where is it? Like totally different lighting, but get out of here, Ruby. I think it worked out well. I think it blends in really well. Looking at chat.
Homeless girl. Don't make eye contact. She's the worst.
This shot of RWBY looking mad. It is from this scene.
お友達だってこれからきっといっぱい作れるもん。
And to create the background, again, this is one of those backgrounds, this background right here. Doesn't exist in the original. Totally from scratch. Made it myself with my own two hands. I took, because, you know, this is where she's supposed to be. So I looked at how this background of her with the steps and made this as the background. This I totally made on my own with, you know, different, like, lines on the bricks and stuff, and Yeah. So another background I made totally from scratch without using a shot from the original.
Worse.
I can hear you! And hey, just so you know, you two would probably be dead by now if it weren't for me. This whole city should be grateful I came back.
See, there she goes again. Come on, let's go.
Okay, this shot of nobody's dad. Oh, wait, okay. First off, you already saw this scene of RWBY, like... You already saw this scene that I used to get the behind shot of RWBY. But to create the background for this shot... Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around. Sorry about that, because there's a lot to go over. To create the background for this shot, I took this scene of sun... and sort of edited together to make this. And that is the background I used for this shot.
And hey, just so you know, you two would probably be dead by now if it weren't for me. This whole city should be...
Now onto this scene. Now onto this shot here. This is the background. Thankfully, I didn't have to do anything crazy for it. It's just Weiss and Blake walking. That was easy enough. I just had to put it over that. But looking at chat again before I continue. I love the spam. I love the spam. Keep spamming. Keep spamming those emojis. So I took the scene. He's from. I use this shot.
Oh.
So first thing I did. You notice when he turns his head, he doesn't talk. I needed him to turn and talk to the person he's with. We never see them. It's implied that they're off screen. Because, like, I was not going to find another character to use. I was just like, I'm already cutting out nobody's dad, so. It's implied that he's with a lady. So I had him turn to her, but since he doesn't talk, I had to find flaps of him talking to use. And I took them from Ren in this scene.
2時間前から飛んでますよ、ノーラ。
Oh, and it doesn't show. I guess I forgot to add this part, but like, nose right here. He's smiling. I needed him to be frowning, so I just flipped his smile upside down. Right here. Yeah. I flipped his smile upside down so he would be frowning. And that's how I made this shot. I know I'm repeating myself a lot. It's just like, oh, here's how I created the background. Here's how I did this. Here's lip flaps I took from this shot. But I'm just showing everything off. Because this episode took a lot of work, you guys.
On, let's go.
Do you know how many robberies I've stopped? You owe me! You all owe me! I'm a superhero! I've already got the cape!
They will not make it home in time.
Oh, God!
He will not make it in time to help them either.
I love that line. But also, Penny doesn't originally talk in this shot. So these lip flaps here. Never mind, I don't show them. I thought I did, but I didn't. They're from a different scene. They're from a different scene. It's still Penny's lip flaps, but I brought them in from a different scene.
Everyone's so murderous in this show. Hey, Penny, hypothetically, if I was still trapped at Beacon, could you have stayed here and fought crime in my place? Not that I'd ever return, because, come on, that'd be fucking stupid, right?
I am programmed to make you happy, no matter what.
Okay, this is the scene I was talking about. These flaps right here. Penny doesn't talk in this shot at all. So I had to get these flaps from somewhere else. So these flaps are from this shot.
はい最高です感謝しますはい最高です感謝します
So that's where I got those flaps from. I edited them slightly because you'll notice she's talking at an angle right here. So just looking at the flaps, you'll notice that like I did edit them a little bit, but nothing crazy. Oh, Brandon Wong, I just read your message. That's your job. You turn frowns upside down. Stop. All right, thank you so much. Also, thank you too, J-Chip, for saying you appreciate how much work I do. I put so much work into this episode. I put so much work into it. And I'm glad it came out so good.
No matter what.
I guess you are, huh?
It's okay if you didn't like it here. It's okay if you don't want to be around me.
Okay, this shot.
It's okay if you want to be around me.
Right here. This shot right here. This is a recreation. This is a full recreation of a shot from the original. This shot specifically. As you can see, it's nighttime. But with how things were... But I needed it to be sunset with how, the rest of the episode plays out, and also how it played out in the original RWBY Abridged. I needed to change this to nighttime. So I cut out all of this window and this curtain, everything. I cut this out. And to create the sky, I took this shot from the initiation where everyone gets launched into the air. I took this shot and I removed, because you can see all the characters flying through the sky right here. I removed those to get a completely clean background. Oops, wait. Yep, that's what I did. Okay, I did that. First I made it orange. I guess I made it orange first. And then I removed all the characters like that. So yeah, I took the sky, made it orange, and then removed all the characters to make it look like this. And then I took that and I panned it back. I added a little white, layer over it, a transparent white to make it, to create the effect of the window. And I panned it back to recreate the original shot. So that's how I did that. Do you prefer editing or making parodies? If you mean like writing parodies, do I prefer just editing in general or writing parodies? That's a tough one. I gotta think about that. Did you re-record Yang's lines? No, I didn't. Those are directly from episode 10. I wanted to make sure anytime we see a scene play out that is the same scene from the original RWBY Abridged, anytime that happens, use the original audio to really hammer home that this is canon to the original RWBY Abridged. It's not a reboot. It's not a retelling. It's not a redo. It is canon. We are just seeing things that happened off screen. Anytime we see something that we already saw in the original RWBY Abridged, use the same audio. Literally the only exception, the one exception, was in episode 1 when Ruby jumps in front of Weiss when she's attacking the Beowulfs. I had to re-record the ha-ha, because the original one, you could still hear, like the sound effects got in the way. The sound effects of her scythe hitting the Beowulf, which doesn't happen in Ice Queendom. The sound of the music from the Steven Universe parody was still kind of fading out when she came in, so you could still hear that. It was just unusable. So that's the one exception I made. That's the one time where I had to re-record a line. But any other time, I just used the same audio.
Me. All I really want is for you to be happy, and you shouldn't let anything get in the way of that.
And this is the laziest edit I did in the episode. At this point in the episode, I just gave up. This is the moment right here where I said, fuck it, I give up. Just like get it done, finish it, get the episode out. This is one of the last edits in the whole episode I made, and I was just like over it at this point. So this looks really bad. The thing is, I make a scroll. I'll be showing this later for another scene. I've already made a scroll from scratch that I used for a different section, and it looks way better than this. It looks way better, which is funny. Which is just funny that it turned out like that. But anyway, the way I made that scene is that the way the scroll looks. Well, first the way I made the background is I took this shot. The background is from this shot of Blake in bed reading, and I zoomed it in a little bit, and I did a bunch of editing stuff to create this. This is the blank background that I used. This is the final background that I used, and I used this shot for Yang holding the scroll. I used this shot here of Yang holding the scroll. Cut that out. And the way I had the scroll look was supposed to imitate both this shot from later in Ice Queendom, where in Ice Queendom this is how it looks when... I know it's all fuzzy because of what's happening in the story, because there's a bad connection, but it's supposed to look half like this and half like how I originally did it in RWBY Abridged. So, with this specific call icon specifically. It was kind of a mix of these two aesthetics, or designs. The RWBY image I used for the icon is just this RWBY concept art from Ice Queendom. I wanted to find I was trying to think of this is part of why this edit is so lazy. I was trying to think of what would my RWBY use as an icon for her scroll. But I just couldn't care less at that point. I was just like, I could try and find something funny or something fitting or appropriate for RWBY to use as an icon, but I do not care. Just have her face be the icon. Who gives a shit? And yeah, this is how the final thing looks. The thing is, I so wanted it to be transparent like this. I so wanted to make the scroll look transparent and have all these details around it, like this little gold border and all these little dots on the screen. I so wanted to do all of that, but I was so tired. I was so done. Y'all have seen how much edit I've already done in this episode alone. I was so done by this point. I was just like, fuck it, blank blue screen, just normal RWBY text, icon, and her photo. There, done, whatever, who cares? It looks terrible. It looks like shit. It looks so bland. But I was just so ready to get the episode done and out. I was just like, I just rushed this. RWBY would have given the camera a middle finger. Probably. That's probably exactly what she would have done. You're right, Abby. You're totally right. Have you seen You All Rights? You All Rights. I like that name. Mirror Mirror AU videos. No, I haven't. You'd be surprised how little, even though I'm always talking about how awesome RWBY fans are and how talented they are, you'd be surprised at how few RWBY series I've actually watched on YouTube. But we're okay. We're kind of nearing the finish line. Kind of. Let's continue. We're about 2/3 of the way done. And we're about to hit the biggest edits we have left. What we're about to see are the final really big ones that took forever. Starting with what I think is a lot of people's favorite joke in the episode.
Huh. A quiet sunset. I'm not used to this.
Weiss! I just got off the phone with RWBY, and guess what she said?
A lot of people like this scene. This scene with Yang. A lot of people like that. It's true. J Chippers is right. I have gotten a RWBY cosplayer to do the middle finger before. That's true. It was at KimuraCon, and it was very funny. Alright, so anyway, this scene. Okay, here we go. This is a big one. It doesn't look like a big one, but it's a big one. Oh, cool. We're done with part 4. Okay, cool. I can move on to part 5. We only got 2 of these parts to go. We got 2 more to go. Okay, first things first. Here is the original shot.
あなたが甘やかすから、ルビーも力を見せびらかして褒められたがってばかりなのです。
As you can see, this is taking place in the city. There's buildings in the background. There's a lake right there. I needed to change it, the background, as I do. So I cut all that shit out just to have this. And then I once again took this shot of Port and Weiss's conversation, this shot right here, and I made it orange, and I cut out like parts of the fence right here, so you could like, so like the sky would be shining through, and it wouldn't just stop right here. It's hard to explain, but I had to go through, and each individual bar of like fence I had to cut out. But yeah, I did that. I made it orange. And then for the sky background, I took this shot of RWBY and Weiss looking in the background. Probably should show the original just to, you know, demonstrate what I did. So I put all of that together to make this. So that's how I changed the background. But for Yang falling down the stairs, I cut Weiss out. Just completely cut Weiss out so Yang could fall behind her. And then for the shot of Yang falling, I cut out Yang from this part right here where she's fighting the Nevermore. It's really hard to see. It goes by super fast, but these frames, these 3 frames right here, and then moved them downward so that, oh, hold on. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Moved them to make it look like she was falling. And that's how I created this shot right here.
A quiet sunset. I'm not used to this.
Weiss! I just got off the phone with RWBY, and guess what she said?
But this shot on the stairs. Okay, before I get to this shot right here, before I get to this, let me look at chat. Blake would just have no image for her pick. Yeah, that's in the finale. That's in the finale. When Weiss calls Blake, she just has no icon at all. That was you were thinking the same thing I was, Brandon Wong. I like how y'all are just coming up with like what everyone's icons would be. That's funny. That's really funny. Jean grinning with a rose in his mouth while shirtless. Absolutely. God, that's... Abby, if you're an artist, can you draw that? I'm kidding. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Oh, let's move on to this shot of let's move on to this. Okay. It doesn't look like it, but out of every shot in the episode, out of every single shot, this one was by far the most like it caused the most chugging in DaVinci. Like, if I hit play, it would play like 1 frame at a time for just how much is in here. So, one by one, let's go through this. This is the original shot.
違いますか？分かった。あんたこそ最高のチームメイトだのなんだの言ってないで、仲間ってものが何か考えたら。ラストゴートだ。
Okay, so because I needed Yang to like get up from off the ground, I needed more empty space where she isn't in the shot. So I needed the stairs to extend further outward. So I needed a version of the shot with Yang not here. So I expanded the stairs like so. And then I created this version, just like kind of cut out like this part until I got to. So I cut all the background and everything. I'm just describing like what you can see. You can see it with your eyes. This is the part that I did next. And then once again, I took this shot of Ruby in the garden. Once again, one of the few shots that take place inside Beacon. I'm going to keep repeating that because it annoyed me. What did I do next? I turned it orange. I changed the color of the sky to make it purple because it's sunset. And I changed everything to orange so that this would be the background. And then what did I do next? I made Yang rise up from the ground. Because, you know, there's that part at the very end of the source clip where she turns. In order to have her get up from the ground, I cut her out from that shot and had her rise up from the ground. Also, you notice I had to like the little thing at the top of her hair. This little thing right here. Because it like cut off in the source footage, I had to like fix it. Just one of those tiny edits that I needed to make sure I did. Next, to make her bleed from her forehead because she just landed on her face, I took a green screen shot of just blood dripping down. And I cut out her hair from her head over here and then just pasted the red going down her face. Just kind of showing piece by piece what I did. Gonna zoom in. Let me zoom in for you. That's how I got that. And so I wanted final thing for this shot. Final thing, I promise. I wanted there to be a transition from this to the airship's landing in the lake. So what I did, J-Ship, you all right? Why was your message was redacted and then you said, bruh, everything good? You're a mod, so why was your message redacted? Because I imagine that's what you're saying bruh to. Like, bruh, my message, no. Unless you're saying bruh to something else. Anyway, some of the edits reminds me of Sword Art Online, and they have few editors. Yeah, it's all me here. It's all me. I'm doing all of this. And the fact that you're comparing me to like something witty entertainment, that's an honor. That's an honor. But anyway, I wanted to transition from this shot to the airships landing at the docks. My original plan was to have a shadow of an airship fly over them, like a shadow up in the sky of an airship fly over Weiss and Yang and like cover them in shadow for a split second as it flew over them. But it just, I may be a good editor, but even I couldn't do that. I could not have the shadow like come down from the side of the brick wall and then over Weiss on stairs. I cannot do a shadow on stairs. That'd be insane for me to do just for a split second edit. Even I'm not that crazy. So I resorted to just having an airship fly in the background. You like the background right here.
Just got off the phone with Ruby, and guess what she said?
Yeah, like this airship in the back. Not not what I wanted to do originally, but I wanted there to be a transition so it wouldn't just cut from this straight to the docks without any sort of like, because the mood kind of switches when the White Fangs show up, so I wanted there to be some kind of like transition. So I just took this airship from the original RWBY show that I cut out from a shot. I think this is from the opening, in fact, of RWBY Volume 1. I cut out this airship from the original RWBY. I darkened it, and everything, made it pitch black and like made it to look like a distant shadow. And then I don't know what's all going on here. That's weird. I don't know. So I just had it fly by, and you can kind of see that like right here it flies behind a tree. So, I put a tree in front of that. So yeah, that's everything. I'm pretty sure that's everything for this one shot, which it looks so simple, but it was so insane there's so many moving parts. There's so many parts to this. All right, any more questions before we move on? I'm just going to play the episode and y'all can ask questions, and I'll check back in a second.
Joe. Hey, Joe, do you copy?
Talk to me, Bob. What is it?
I love Bob and Joe. I wish they had their own show. I wish I could give them their own spin-off. I want the Bob and Joe show. But anyway. So the whole reason that I brought these two back, because these two are, if you don't remember, these two are from the finale. The finale of RWBY Abridged. Oh, no, episode 9. The finale part 1 is where these two come from. They're the ones who walk up to Sun and are just like, "Hey, Joe, that guy's got a banana." "What? I love bananas. I order you to share." That's these two. I brought these two guys back, which J-Chip originally voiced, so I brought him back to voice them again. Shut up, J-Chip, you're good. So the reason I brought these guys back, the reason this whole scene exists, is because Ice Queendom skips over. Does the J stand for Joe? Yeah, Joe Chippers. The reason I added them is because, the Ice Queendom completely skips over the Roman fight at the docks. Just skips over it completely, which is good on the one hand, because I already did that fight in the finale. So on the one hand, that works out for me. But on the other hand, if I want to... Yes, Abby Collins, really. Ice Queendom really does that. I'm not joking. They just skip it. So, but on the other hand, if I want Ice Queendom to stand completely on its own and not have you rely on RWBY Abridged proper, exactly, it's canon. The problem is, that fight scene, that whole scene is super important to the story of RWBY Abridged. It's when Blake comes back. It's when, RWBY returns from Beacon after leaving. All that stuff is important, so I had to include it somehow, but since Ice Queendom doesn't show it, I needed some way to have that scene in Ice Queendom Abridged without actually showing the scene, if you get what I mean. So that's why I had these two do commentary over the scene from RWBY Abridged finale, RWBY Abridged episode 10. It's them doing commentary over that. So that was my workaround. It wasn't a perfect workaround, but it was the best I could do. So now that explanation is out of the way, how did I actually do this shot? Well, Just get rid of all of this. Okay, so first things first. The first shot of Joe, the very first shot you see, when it's like panning down from the roof.
Joe, hey, Joe.
This is the original version of that.
オーラは生きるものすべてが備えているの。
As you can see, it's Jean and Pyrrha on the roof. So I took this shot right here. I removed Jean and Pyrrha as best I could. Kinda. I kinda removed them. You can kinda see it here. I guess this is just like the first half of what I did. Because obviously I had to remove them completely. But I slowly removed Jean and Pyrrha. And then I took this shot of the cops standing in the background. Because in the original, these guys are just cops. They're Vale cops. But since this doesn't take place in Vale, I made them Beacon security. Like, so Joe is like head of Beacon security. So I took this shot and I pasted Joe. I cut him out, adjusted his lighting, made him all dark, and pasted him over this shot. And since he doesn't have a body, because you see, like, it's, well, he does, but it is covered by this tape right here, and I didn't want to cut out all of this. So, like, I cut out up until his waist, and then just stopped the pan before it hit his waist. And for the remainder of Joe's scene...
Hey, Joe, do you copy?
Talk to me, Bob. What is it?
I'm at the docks right now. An unauthorized airship just landed.
Do they appear hostile?
Not yet. I'm waiting to see who's inside.
Then keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, can I send you this? I'm practice drawing my Grim Sona and I'd like some feedback.
You know Grim killed my brother, right?
Well, there's no improving that, so tell me how to improve this.
Okay, so all of this... I love these two. All of this, this is the original scene. It's a very short shot.
何があったんですか?
Oh?
That's all there is. So I cut out Joe from that. I pasted it on this shot right here of Jean and Pyrrha on the roof. And one piece at a time, I cut out Joe and gave him lip flaps, because I took the lip flaps of him opening his mouth and kind of just like pasted them on here so that he could talk. And then for the earpiece, because I needed him talking to Bob, I gave him this earpiece and I needed to put it in his ear. So you know what I did? I cut out his ear frame by frame as well. Just his ear. So that I could place the earpiece inside his ear. And as for his badge, because, you know, for those who hadn't seen RWBY Abridged, I wanted to be clear who this guy is and what his job is. I wanted to give him a little Beacon security badge. So I found this blank badge online. And I took this symbol, which is apparently the Beacon symbol, the symbol of the school. And I made this with it, which I think looks pretty good. I really like how this little badge I made looks. I will forever be confused why they decided to retell the first volume when there's only like 13-ish episodes. I don't know. I guess it was for people who hadn't seen the original RWBY show, and they did the same thing I did. They were just like, we don't want to rely on people having already seen RWBY. So the Ice Queendom was just like, we gotta retell volume 1. The problem is, episode 3. You got it. Episode 3 of Ice Queendom has to be seen to be believed. Just how fast they just like speed through everything. Like episodes 1 and 2 are pretty slow paced. And like episode 1 of Ice Queendom is just episode 1 of RWBY. Like they tell the exact same events. Episode 2 is from when they arrive at Beacon to when they defeat the Nevermore in the Emerald Forest. All that episode 2. Episode 3 is everything else, plus all the stuff with Shion in the Nightmare, which takes up like half the episode. So they crammed in half of Volume 1 into like 20 minutes. All right. Did I miss any questions? I don't think I did. I think I'm good. All right, so that's how I made the. That's how I made that. That's how I made Bob and Joe's scene.
Fine, we'll stop by the pet store on our way home. After killing Little Red, I'll be in a good mood.
Joe, it's the White Fang!
Hold on, I'm trying to get a good picture.
So you guys remember when I said earlier that I already made a scroll from scratch and it looks way better than the one I had Yang hold? Look at this. Look at this scroll I made for this one shot. I made this using a bunch of different parts that I grabbed online. Doesn't this look way better than that other garbage? Anyway, that's the scroll I made, and I like moved it around. I like moved it so it looked like he was like struggling to hold it. And then for it taking a picture, I just kind of like brightened the screen for just like a split second. It's hard to see when I play it, like that. I just had it like brighten a bit, and that's how I got it to take the photo. Because like these are two separate parts. The beacon, not the beacon, the scroll like handles, and the screen itself. So I just brightened the screen to have it take a photo. It looks so good. And the other one, and the one I had Yang hold, looks so shit. Like, look, it's transparent and everything. It looks great.
The entire academy could be in danger. We gotta do something.
And send. Take a look and tell me what you think. Also, what were you saying just now?
You're gonna get a ton of students killed.
Hey, I asked for feedback on my art, not my job.
It doesn't matter who you are. Nobody hurts my friend.
Another line that's just the audio from the finale that I reused. That's why you can kind of hear the sound of Yang getting up, like you hear her heel step in this audio if you listen closely.
Nobody hurts my friend.
I wish it didn't have that. I wish it was just a clean audio, but it worked well enough. Oh, this shot of a beacon at sunset.
Am I really doing this? Weeks of trying to escape this place, just to crawl back the next day.
This shot of beacon, this is thankfully a very simple one. I think we've moved on from all the really complex edits. No, wait. Okay, there is one more. There is one more coming up. But this shot of beacon, it's just this shot, which is thankfully already at sunset, so I didn't need to do too much. I just, because I had made the sky purple, because the sky was already dark and purpley in other scenes, like at the docks and stuff, so I wanted to add some purple elements to the sky. So, this is how it looks in the final version. Like, I just took this scene, edited the colors a little bit, darkened a little bit, and panned it. And, I took this, I changed the sky a bit and made that a separate layer and panned that as well. And that's how I made this.
Am I really doing this? Weeks of trying to escape this place, just to crawl back the next day. What's wrong with me?
Danger detected, 0.1 kilometers northeast.
Oh my god, is that a...
Yes, and before you say anything, all Grimm have giant cocks. Trust me, I just wanted to be accurate is all.
No.
Giant cocks. I love how you said that, J-Chip.
Oh, I think there's a student here. She's fighting off what looks to be their boss. Wait, now there's someone else at the top of the warehouse. It appears to be a girl wearing a red cape.
Okay, at this point, I feel like you're just avoiding talking about my art. Is it really that bad?
Joe, listen to me.
Because now you're just pointing out whatever random person enters your line of sight.
We're security. That's literally our job. Wait, does that girl have laser eyes?
Bob? Hello? Asshole.
I love these two. I love them. Also, wait, does that girl have laser eyes? That line cracked me up that line was really funny. All right, so you say rip Abby, but don't worry, Joe is fine. Wait, Bob is fine. We hear from him later in the scene. I wanted to make it clear that, like, no, Penny didn't kill Bob. Bob is fine. Bob is alive.
Let's get out of here!
This is what us faunists get for listening to a human!
This edit, I think, is the last really big one. Oh, no, never mind. I'm looking at what's ahead, the scene with Ruby and Osmond. Oh my god, this episode never ends. This never ends.
It's okay. She can't get us up here.
Okay, I love this. I love this part right here. I love it. But it did take a little bit.
Us up here.
Okay, so how I did this. First, the original.
Hirari.
So as you can see, Penny just kind of does she jumps off the ground and then just kind of does this flip in the air.
Hirari.
So I made this sky background because I needed, like, you know, her to fly. You see her kind of small over here. I made this giant sky background out of, like, you know, the various shots of the sky that are in this shot right here. I made this right here, and I made a pan upwards so that she would... this is the background. This is just me making the background. And then I cut out these frames of Penny right here. These ones right here. I might have cut out even more then. I don't think this is all the ones that I cut out. And so this is how it looks without the ship exploding. I also just kind of have her, like, slowly darken as she gets further and further into the sky. As she, like, disappears from sight. So I did that. And to create the ship exploding, I took this shot of the ship flying away. So I took that shot, I cut it out so that it would... I cut it out, and then added this stock explosion... Anime explosion is what I specifically searched on Google. Anime explosion effect I found online. This green screen effect. And that's how I made one of my personal favorite edits of the episode. Also, it's a bit hard to notice, but if you look at the sky right here in this shot, it's slowly, because I wanted the effect of, like, the explosion, like, dissipating. So the sky right here is a bit more red than it is. It, like, slowly fades off from red if you pay attention.
You know what?
It's kind of hard to notice. It's kind of hard to notice because there's already, like, red over here from the fire, but yeah. The level of detail is amazing each and every time. Thank you! Thank you so much. Next shot, this shot right here. A lot simpler, but still a lot of work.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I need a bigger shirt.
Who the fuck are you? Ah!
Threat eliminated. Best friend is safe. Mission accomplished.
Okay, so for this shot, first the original, just to show you how it looked. This happens after Penny does that little flip in the air, like right after. So like it's a very short shot, very very quick shot. So as you can see, first things first. Oh, right here I'm just showing off that like I needed a shot without Penny. Like there's never a moment in the original where she isn't in the frame, so I needed a shot without her, so I had to make one, like by taking various points in the video and like editing them around to make this blank version without her. Oh, this is the sky fading out like I mentioned earlier. Sorry, I wasted your time looking at something that I didn't remember I already put over here. Whoops. But yeah, that's the explosion in the sky dissipating. Anyway, you'll notice that Sun doesn't talk in this shot at all. So I had to make him talk. So his lip flaps are actually from Jean from this scene. I try to make it so the male characters their flaps are only from other male characters, and the female characters only have flaps from other female characters. Mostly because of lips. Like, the female characters in Ice Queendom have very pronounced pink lips a lot of the time. So, it's hard to, like, find shots where, like, the lips are an exact match. So that can be a real problem with trying to import flaps from other shots. With male characters, it's much easier, since there are no lips. So I can basically take flaps from anywhere. Next, gonna be real with y'all. I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of steam, y'all. But we're getting there. We're getting there. To make Ruby's eyes move, first I cut out her pupils, so it would just be the whites of her eyes, and then I removed her eyebrows, sorry. I removed her eyebrows again, so I could have them, like, move downward to make her look angry. And then I took her pupils again and pasted them and have them move to the side to look at Sun. So that's how I made this shot.
I'm gonna say it. I need a bigger shirt.
Who the fuck are you? Ah!
Also, her lip flaps are just this scene of her being surprised when Penny lands, just like edited to make her talk.
Threat eliminated. Best friend is safe. Mission accomplished.
Is it over?
You're an awful security guard, Bob.
See, Bob is fine. Bob is fine. All right. We are so close. We're so close to the end. We're done with part 5. Just one more part to go. We're so close, people. We're at the finish line. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, boy. All right. All right. Now, this scene in Osbin's office. Very first shot.
Hello? Yes, is this the headmaster at Signal Academy?
So you'll notice how the elevator is going upwards. How the elevator is going up. Well, in the original, it's going down. Now, normally, this wouldn't be a problem. I just reverse the footage, right? Well, the thing is, right after that shot of the elevator moving, right after that shot of the elevator numbers, this shot right here, it immediately cuts in my Abridged series to RWBY showing up in Osbin's office.
Yes, is this the headmaster at Signal Academy? I was wondering if...
So if I were to just reverse the shot, it would look like Osbin's office is just on room 5, but it's not. It's like at the top of the tower. So I had to make it so the elevator would stop at room 9. So basically what I did is I basically recreated this shot right here, but like made the numbers go up from 5 to 9. So like I would fade one number at a time. I made this ring. I think I just like cut out this shot right here. I cut out this ring and like made it glow to like have it, you know, just you can see. And then I panned upward by taking a still shot right here. And sorry, I'm not really sure how to explain this one. It kind of just like happened. It kind of just like worked out. I just kind of like took multiple parts and just kind of like re-edited it to make it sure the elevator was going up more to level 9. But that's really it for that shot. Let me check the chat. Chat's being pretty quiet. You guys can ask questions. You guys can ask questions if you want. I keep saying that because I like hearing what you guys have to say. I know Abby Collins asked a lot about like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And I didn't want to repeat myself over and over, but just the answer, just no. Just no. I haven't seen any of it. I'm sorry. Again, that shot looks like it was from the original. Thank you. Again, like I really try. I really try to make these look as seamless as possible. Like you would never know that I made this scene completely from scratch. Do you read fanfic? I used to. I haven't in years. I used to write fanfic. I'm never showing any of y'all any of it ever. But yeah, I used to write fanfic. I used to read fanfic. That's what I did when I first started online, as I'm pretty sure I think everyone did. What do you think about a potential release date for Volume 10? I'm thinking 2026. I have no flippin' idea. It's definitely coming, obviously. I just like no clue. No idea whatsoever. I guess I would say 2026 is a pretty reasonable bet. Like, I don't know what other stuff they have to work out with, like, Warner Brothers and stuff, but, like, and, like, you know, getting a whole new team together, or hopefully the team who used to work at Rooster Teeth, getting all them back, and hopefully in a better working condition, better workplace. But yeah, maybe 2026, probably. I could see that. How'd you get the idea of the scene in Osmond's office? It was just kind of a scene I wanted to do. Because, you know, again, if you haven't seen RWBY Abridged proper, I wanted to make sure all those people are up to speed. So I had to, you know, make RWBY confront Osmond. I had to make her confront Osmond, because otherwise that whole kidnapping thing would have just been left lingering. At least in RWBY Abridged. At least in Ice Queendom. RWBY Abridged, that stuff is like done with. It was settled. But in Ice Queendom, I wanted to make sure I put on a real cap on that, so that we could focus entirely on the Weiss stuff.
Hold on one moment, I have to speak with a student. Just a second. Miss Rose, what an unexpected surprise. This is your first time coming to my ARFOC.
Listen, you old...
What?
Okay, so I love ARFOC. I know I sent the script ahead of time to like some people to be like, hey, can you all look over this and tell me if it's good? And like both of the people I sent my script to came back and being like, dude, Osmond scene. I loved it. It cracked me up. But anyway, this shot of RWBY. So this is the original shot. Guess what I had to do? I had to remove the eyebrows, remove the mouth, yada yada. We've seen this 100 times. The lip flaps I used to have her talk, because she does not talk in this shot. I took her lip flaps from this scene at the temple when they're fighting the Nevermore.
違う。ちゃんと戦えるって知ってほしいだけ。
I took those flaps there. And this is just her eyebrows moving. You know, I did the thing that I've been doing. I cut out her hair so that it wouldn't just be floating above her eyebrows. Or the eyebrows wouldn't just be floating above her on her face. And just move them up to have her change expression.
You know, coming to my office.
Listen, you old...
What? My office. You know, office clock? An office that's a clock? Some people call it a clawfice, but that just sounds weird.
Fucking whatever, shut up! I'm not here to talk.
Okay, this shot, though. This shot, baby. Okay, so... Let's see. Alright, so that split screen effect, it is in the original Ice Queendom, but it's when he's talking to Blake.
だが両者の溝を埋めるべく大勢が日々努力しているし、君にも協力してほしいと思っている。
お言葉ですが、そう簡単に溝は埋まりません。
I had to change it to RWBY, obviously. So, first, I just isolated Ozpin side of the split screen so I could paste it over the shot of him and RWBY talking. Isolated the split screen, lip sync it and everything. But for the shot of RWBY, there is no shot of... When she talks to Ozpin, it's a very... She's very happy the whole time. It's a very... You know, because, you know, RWBY in the original and my RWBY are very different. So she's smiling the whole time she's talking to Ozpin in the original. I needed her to look pissed. So I took this shot from when she... Later in the episode. And I edited that around to create these flaps here. And then for the background of RWBY side of the split screen, this is from another shot when Blake is because you know I couldn't just use a still background because I wanted there to be gears moving in the background while RWBY's talking. So I used this shot of Blake. Thankfully, this shot of Blake had a lot of free background to use, so that was lucky to use. That was lucky of me to find. So, yeah, that's how I made this scene. Or this shot, I rather. How's chat doing? What's your favorite scene from Canon RWBY and Abridged RWBY? Canon RWBY, no idea. I haven't watched it in a long time. Hey, Reba! Oh my god! It's so good to see you! It's so good to see you! Hey guys, it's Dream Blake. It's a VA for Dream Blake. How you doing, Reba? Sorry, I got so excited to see you here. I can't remember a favorite RWBY canon scene. No, wait. Yes, I can. I think I actually. The scene in Volume 2 where they're all... The campfire scene where it's just Yang, Blake, and Weiss just kind of talking. Just talking about why they're here, talking about what their dreams are, questioning whether or not they came to Beacon for the right reasons. You know, that stuff, I remember loving that scene. I would say that's my favorite scene from Canon RWBY. Abridged RWBY? I'm just going to say the first thing that pops in my head, the fight scene in the finale against the giant robot. It's going to, like I said, I don't want to die and have the RWBY finale be my like magnum opus, aka the best thing I ever made. I don't want that. But man, how the fuck am I gonna top that? How the fuck am I gonna top that fight scene? I have no idea. Good lord. Yeah, Reba, those turns do be tabling. Those turns do be tabling. But seriously, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. here with us. All right, moving on. Sorry about that.
Some people call it a clawfist, but that just sounds weird. Fucking whatever, shut up! I'm not here to talk. I don't know what your deal is or why you kidnapped me.
Oh, good lord, this scene. This is a big one. This is a big one. This is one of those, like, strap in, folks, shots.
I don't know what your deal is or why you kidnapped me.
Okay, so this is the original. The original shot, I mean. So, very different. There's a pan up. Ruby has a different expression. And rather than brightness turning to dark, darks turns into brightness. So this scene needed a lot of work. I still wanted that transition, because in the original Ice Queendom, they do something really cool, where they have the gears block out the sun for any really dramatic moments in Ozpin's office. I wanted to keep that. So I wanted to use this. I thought I could just reverse this scene. I really thought I could just reverse it and maybe like change Ruby's flaps to a frown. But that wouldn't work because it's a pan downward. And if I were to reverse that, because it's a pan upward, so if I were to reverse that, it would be a pan downward and it would look really awkward. So what I did, I took, it's going to be hard to explain, but I panned the video so that it would move opposite of the pan of the original. Like I panned it so that, I panned the video so that it would look like a still image. And then I took Ruby, I removed her mouth and her eyebrows so I could change her expression. I took these flaps. I don't remember where I got these flaps, sadly. I don't remember what scene these are from. But I took these flaps. And I took these eyebrows, changed her eyebrows so she would look mad, put the hair over it, stuff you've seen 100 times. But here's what's crazy about it. I lip sync. I created this image of her talking mad. And then I did it twice. Once in the bright colors and once in the dark colors. Like I just made the exact same lip sync I just lip synced the dialogue, but did it twice with different shading. So then I could transition the two to have the shadow cross over Ruby. And then I pasted it over the still image of the background and just did a pan zoom in.
Here to
pan zoom in like this.
Talk. I don't know what your deal is or why you kidnapped me.
And that's how I made that shot. Oh, that was a long explanation, but that's one of those that's one of those edits that like took work. This edit is way simpler. I used the back shot. I think I can show it off. I think I remembered to like include it. Yeah, I used the back shot that you saw me use before, but just like, you know, dimmed the brightness. But for the background, I used this shot of Yang. No, not Yang, of Blake. And just pasted this over that.
But now there are people here who want me to stay. So just remember, this isn't over between us.
Now this shot is unique. This is one of those rare shots because in this is an example of something special. This is an example of me removing lip flaps. So Ozpin talks in this original shot. I needed him to not talk. So I cut out his mouth of his closed flap and panned it so that it would follow the pan of the original. Like so. I think I could just like literally just place one on top of the other. So yeah, like that. So that was one of the few times where I actually have to. Usually, I'm grabbing lip flaps from other scenes because I need a character to talk in a shot where they don't. This is one of those rare times where I need a character to not talk, so I have to remove lip flaps.
Remember, this isn't over between us. I've already escaped once, and I can do it again just as easily. I can ruin your whole fucking life whenever I want.
Now, I didn't need to do this. I just straight up didn't. I just thought it would look cool. So, I made a reflection of RWBY in Osmond's glasses. Because this is supposed to, be like a standoff between them. So, I took this shot of the original, where it's just blank glasses. And the RWBY I used is from this scene.
必死だったから実はよく覚えていないんですけど。
So I took that RWBY and I doubled it. I grabbed the lip flaps I needed. I pasted 2 rubies like this. Then I made them transparent and then placed them on top of this scene of Osmond. I just transparent the rubies. And then I took this shot of Osmond again and cut out the glasses so that, it would only be on the glasses. So that's how I made this. I didn't need to. I just thought it would look cool. And I think it does. I love coming back after I've done this long spiel, just like yapped on and on, yap about how I did certain edits, and then I come back and I just see all these messages in chats being like, dude, that's fire, that's an awesome edit, oh my god, that's so cool. I love it. I love that.
Life whenever I want. Never forget that.
Okay, now, once again, there's no shot of RWBY looking mad in this scene, so this shot of RWBY right here, it's from this. It's just this shot right here. And I zoomed in on it. Well, first I added some effects to make it, fit with the lighting of the scene. So I took this shot, added some effects to it, tinted it green a bit to match the green of Osmond's office, and then did a wipe effect to transition to the brighter, to the clock is moving, so now the brightness has changed, like it does in the original. Whenever a scene like this ends in Osmond's office, the lighting turns back to normal.
That.
Which transitions to it happening here, like this.
I understand, and I am glad you found happiness at our school. In fact, that's the entire reason I brought you here. The truth is, I was friends with your—
She's already gone, Professor.
I'll tell her later. Sorry about that. No, it's nothing bad. I was just wondering if you knew what time it was. Well, I do, because I have an ARFOC!
That's the scene that cracked everyone up when I sent them the script. That's the joke right there. I was wondering if you knew what time it was. Well, I do, because I have an ARFOC! Alright, next. Oh, good lord. Okay, here we go. I think this scene right here is as crazy as it's gonna get. Oh boy. Oh lord. Okay, this scene. So, where to even start with this one? Okay, so this is the original shot of Yang hugging RWBY. Now, if you're wondering what the green room there is, it's this room. This is one scene in Ice Queendom that I wanted to use because this is immediately after RWBY comes down from Osmond's office. This is what the bottom of Beacon Tower looks like, the interior. But But I knew I wanted to use this shot of Yang hugging Ruby. I knew I wanted to use it, but there was absolutely no shot in this whole scene where I could put it in and it wouldn't look weird. Or like there was just no shot with enough background that I could put them in. So guess what I did? I made it from scratch. Just completely from this background right here. Non-existent in the original. Made it piece by horrible piece. The only exception is this. See this pillar right here? This pillar? You know, I wanted there to be some kind of background element, so it wasn't just like, this just looks too plain. This just looks too boring. So I added this pillar right here to like give the room some kind of like, you know, just do something with the background and have it not just be a bunch of blank colors. So this pillar right here is this pillar from this other shot of the same room. Dude, you put way too much work on yourself. Take a nap. I'll probably do that after this stream. Like I said, I have a podcast to record tomorrow, so I gotta save my voice. I might take a nap after this. Afak, I thought it was an accent butchering the words wall clock. No, Afak is a mixture of office and clock. Afak. The whole reason I had Osmond say, some people call it a cloffice, but that just sounds weird, is because that makes so much more sense as just like a mixture of office and clock. Clock, office, cloffice. But he's just like, no, that sounds weird. Afak, though, that sounds cool. Alright, so anyway, continuing on with the very next shot. Very next shot right here.
Yang, relax. I'm back, and I'm not leaving this time.
You'd better not.
I'm back too. Where's my hug?
Another shot that doesn't exist in the original. Big surprise. Had to make this from scratch too. This is the original shot where I got Blake from. I keep mixing up the two. This is where the shot where I got Blake from.
で、どうする気だ?
ダスト強盗の犯人を確かめる。
So I took her lip flaps. I moved her down to like. I took her lip flaps from later and moved them down here so she could talk. So this would just be a still frame. And the background I use is this shot of Weiss. So thankfully I didn't have to make an entirely new background from scratch. I just pasted it over Weiss here.
Oh yeah!
I changed my mind. Don't.
Oh, hold on. Okay, yes. This shot where they turn around. Same thing as before, directly after she hugs her in the original, right here.
すごいじゃない。私とすごいじゃない。私と一緒に入学しちゃうなんて。
Notice Ruby doesn't talk right here. Notice she doesn't talk. Remember that for later. For just like in a second. This is just that same background I made earlier that I made from scratch, just kind of zoomed in. Like right here. I just reused the same, you know, assets and colors and stuff and just like rearranged them so it would be closer up. To create this background.
Oh yeah!
I changed my...
Okay, so this shot of Blake. Another shot doesn't exist in the original. I had to cut her out from a different shot. This scene right here when she's arguing with Weiss. This is nope. Okay, never mind. We're going over the background first. Okay, so this is the shot that I used for the background.
オズピン学長に聞けばわかるわ。
So that's the background I use. I took these two different shots from here, or multiple shots, and created this background out of it. So this is the background I used. But the shot of Blake I cut out from is from here, where she's arguing with Weiss.
私たちは虐げられることにもううんざりなの。
As you can see, she's moving a lot. So I just took a still frame of her from that from a section of all this animation, cut out her mouth, and took various shots from, just took a bunch of different shots from her moving around like this, and just mashed them together to create this. And that's how that's how I made the Blake scene. Or this Blake shot right here. Okay, next shot. Not next shot as in like Weiss. This Weiss shot coming up is completely unchanged from the original.
Change my mind. Don't touch me.
Betcha that's a cat thing.
This is in the original. This is nothing special.
Ahem.
Oh yeah.
But this shot of RWBY, I need y'all to be completely honest with me. Just be dead serious, because I need to know for sure.
Oh yeah, and we can't forget.
I drew these. There was absolutely no flaps anywhere in Ice Queendom that I could use for this shot to make RWBY talk. I looked everywhere. There was nothing. These are the first lip flaps in my life that I have completely drawn myself.
Oh yeah, and we can't forget.
Are they good lip flaps? Let me show you the like. I think these are generally better than the smiling ones. But these? I drew these. These ones right here. I also drew these. For this shot, I just flipped her mouth upside down. I didn't draw that, but... Look good to me. Pretty good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because, I am not a good artist. At all. At all. I suck at art. Absolutely terrible. So, I just wanted to see if you just want to hear your opinion on this. If I can help it, I'll never draw lip flaps again. But as the one time that I actually did, I still want to know, it's just like, did I do a good job? Did I do all right? But, I guess to show off that section specifically. Same background. Zoom it in. And these are the lip flaps I drew. All of these. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I'm glad the open mouth looks good, at least. I see a lot of people in chat saying, like, the wide open mouth looks really good. And, like, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Shit. What was your name again?
Hilarious.
Okay, there is one edit in this Weiss scene that I forgot to mention.
Name again?
Hilarious. I can barely contain my laughter.
Okay, Weiss does not talk in this scene. These flaps are from here. These flaps are from this moment. That's all I wanted to share with that Weiss scene. That's all there is.
Come on, guys, let's celebrate!
Yang's right. Being back in Vale for a day really reminded me how shitty it is. So, let's get back to that shopping trip!
I thought you'd say that.
Please do. if you haven't, there's some animation in the final episode. Let me tell y'all something just real quick. The animator who did those animations in the finale, he's now working on Borderlands 4. He's animating for Borderlands 4. He's improved a lot since the finale. They're still great animations. They're amazing. But I just wanted to shout him out for a second, because if you're wondering how good the animations are in the finale, if you haven't seen them, he now works on Borderlands. Just wanted to say that. Just wanted to shout him out.
Why'd you drag me away? I had him cornered!
What am I gonna do with you, Nora? I don't care if a member of Team RWBY upset you. You should have waited for me outside the men's restroom like I asked you to. If I'd known we were all going to the same clothing shop, I wouldn't have... John, she's way over here. Calm down. Stay away from me!
Okay, so this shot right here. We're almost at the end. We're so close. Okay, so this is the original. So you'll notice two things. One, Ren doesn't talk, so I had to get lip flaps from another scene, and Ren's lip flaps from this scene are from here. So those are the flaps I used, except, he's smiling, so I still had to flip them upside down. But you'll notice Pyrrha is smiling in this shot. She's frowning in my version. So, yeah, see? So I had to take her smiling and just do the easy thing. Just flip it upside down. Darren Root, are you talking about My RWBY Abridged? You've heard partly good things about it? I mean, I'm glad, but like, from who? Who's been saying partly good things about my Abridged series? Oh, Borderlands 4. Okay. Sorry, I got confused. Sorry. I was just like, I mean, partly is still good. Partly's still good.
On, she's way over here. Calm down. Stay away from me.
Look, I get it. You're mad I got Nora to try and kill you. I'm sorry. But come on, don't pretend to act shocked.
I am never taking you three shopping again!
What did I do? No, that's fair. We all got a little cunt in us. You guys stare at me a lot. Is it because of my little cunt?
Okay, this scene is very simple. Shouldn't take long to explain at all. Also, that is a reference to the finale. The very last line of RWBY Abridged. Why are you always such a cunt to Weiss? That's a continuation of that. But this is the original shot. So clearly I had to edit it so that they turned at separate times. So first Blake and RWBY would turn, and then Yang would turn. But since Yang doesn't talk in this side profile, I needed to get flaps from somewhere else. So I got them from here. So that's where I got Yang's lip flaps from for this shot. I figured since, the orange lighting and stuff, I figured it would work best.
Cunt.
Seriously, Weiss, come on. It's not like she was actually dangerous. You took her out so easily.
RWBY, maybe you should apologize for real.
Okay, so this shot is kind of different. I had to change everyone's expression except Ruby's. Ruby is totally fine. I did nothing to her, but Yang and Blake needed some changes. So this is the original.
誰もワイスを笑ったりしないよ。あんたの夢の中で見たものは黙っててあげるからさ。あなた自身のことも気にしないことにしたら。
Okay, so not only did I have to remove their smiles, but Blake talks. So I had to get, not only did I have to remove the smile, I had to get completely new lip flaps for her to talk while frowning. So, but thankfully, this scene where I just took both the mouth flap from Yang and the talking from Blake. So this scene, I thankfully didn't have to get separate lip flaps for each of them. I just grabbed them both from this scene.
起きてても一緒じゃん。いや。
So that's where Blake's flaps come from when she talks.
Yeah.
Those flaps right there. So that was thankfully an easy one.
Weiss. I won't do it again, okay? If you want me to make it up to you, I will. You're my friend, and I'm sorry I made you so upset.
This shot of Weiss. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Just hang in there. This shot of Weiss. First, the background. I made it using this shot of Ruby in bed, you know, with the curtains, because it's Weiss hiding from everybody. So I took this shot. I edited the background to create this. And on top of that, I put Weiss, because I needed Weiss, like, curled up. Like, it looked like she was just kind of, like, curled up in a seating position. So I cut it out from this shot when she's done by fighting the Borbatusk. That was, like, the closest I could get to, like, what I wanted. To make it look like she was just kind of, like, sitting in bed, like, with grabbing her knees. That's kind of what I was going for with this pose right here.
Okay, I get it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, Weiss. And thanks for another great day.
She's still a rude little shit. But I am glad she decided to stay.
You're lying. You were happy she left. The happiest you've been in months. I can tell you're afraid. It's okay. I'm here to help. I know you're suffering. I've seen it. This school, your family, her. I know what you really want. Just trust me, and we can make all your problems go away.
Again, I'm really proud of how I'm handling the nightmare. I think I'm doing a good job at making the nightmare scary and threatening. But most of that was unedited. The biggest edit so far, before we get to the very next shot, is this frame right here. Check chat one last time. Oh, whoa. Never mind. Before we get to that, okay. I guess I just skipped it. Okay, cool. I skipped on how I edited it. Okay. But basically, this shot right here does not exist in the original. Well, it does. It's just there are vines appearing from the background. So, like, I had to remove the vines. It took a very long time. But there is no shot like this where there are no vines in the background. So I had to remove them. But on to the very last giant edit of this episode. Not the last edit per se, but the last giant one. Okay. So, this shot right here. Well, first, let me go ahead and just, like, play the rest, the last remaining of the episode, and then I'll explain.
Just trust me, and we can make all your problems go away. There you go.
Okay, so I played that because some context is needed. This dress right here, just to give you some context, if you have not seen the original Ice Queendom, spoilers a bit, I guess spoilers for Ice Queendom. let me just play you a scene from much later in the series. So this dress in Ice Queendom, the Nightmare is defending this dress. And I'm not going to go into spoilers, but this dress is very important to the series. Of what I'm doing with Ice Queendom. This dress is actually important. So that's why I had it appear in front of Weiss. Because that doesn't happen in the original. I created that scene. That shot you just saw of the dress. So this is the original. You just saw it with Weiss standing there. I removed Weiss from the shot. I removed Nightmare Weiss from the shot to make a clean background. Now, I needed to put the dress right here. The problem is, there is no shot that was usable in Ice Queendom. Absolutely none. Like, all the shots involving the dress look like this. It's blindingly glowing. It's all white. You can barely see any detail on it. All the shots look like this. So there was no shot anywhere in the show that I could use. So I had to make it myself. And how did I do that? Well, thankfully, in Ice Queendom, thank God for Dream Pyrrha. Dream Pyrrha in Ice Queendom is wearing the exact same dress. It's just a different color. And it has some added accessories, like this little ring on her arm and this little blanket around her waist. But those are pretty much the only two added accessories. So Pyrrha is thankfully wearing the exact same outfit. So I took this concept art of her right here, and then I mirrored it to like get rid of like the armband, because that would have been a pain in the ass to deal with. So I mirrored it to get rid of the armband to get this. And then I erased Pyrrha from it, erased Pyrrha herself, and recolored the whole dress. In fact, I think I might have like drawn over it. I think I might have traced it. I don't remember. But I either traced or recolored this dress to get this. This is the blank version without all the extra lighting and stuff. And from there, I added the back, because, you know, so it's not just like empty. So I added the back right there. And then I added a glow to, you know, like make it like luminescent. And then I, you know, added another glow on top of that to like brighten it up a bit more. And I pasted that on top of this blank background that I made. And that's how I added the dress to appear in front of Weiss. Y'all are making guesses in the chat, and I'm being shush. I'm being quiet. I'm not going to say anything. No spoilers. But anyway, so that's how I created this dress. And finally, the last edit of the episode. One last edit. First things first, I added tears to Weiss's face. I know they're a bit hard to see, I know. But this was honestly the best I could do, because Weiss is so goddamn pale. She's so pale. And her hair is white, and everything about her is like so brightly white. It was going to be hard to see her tears anyway, unless I made them like bright blue. And when I tried doing that, it just didn't work right. It looked too like cartoony, and it didn't have the right emotional impact I needed. So this was basically the best I could do. If you missed these tears, if you didn't even notice she was crying, I do not blame you. But I tried so many different things to make the tears more visible, and it just wouldn't work. I'm sorry. But to add those tears, I mean, first of all, this is the original shot. I'll show you the original shot first, where she isn't crying, as you can see. So you might notice, the reason I played that into this section here is because I wanted to show that, like, the scene does not end with this shot. But I needed the scene to end with that, just like have the episode end on Weiss's crying face as she's like surrounded by vines. I knew that's how I wanted to end the episode. So first, to do the tears, I took these tears that I think I just took from various anime scenes that I found of characters crying and edited them so they would fit on Weiss's face. And yep, took that. This is the original, and then I changed it a bit, made it more transparent, made them bluer, added some hair in front of it so that the tears would go behind her hair. And then, for the very last edit, I took another shot of a vine from a different scene and zoomed in on it and had it cover the screen. And that's why I knew I was going to use to transition to the ending. Like, this would be the very last shot. This vine rising up in front of Weiss and just covering the screen. So that was not in there in the original, and I added that in. Like so. Let me just play it again.
There you go.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is every single edit I made for Ice Queendom Abridged Episode 2. That's everything. Oh. Oh, man. So now that that's all over, you guys think I'm a good editor? You guys think I'm all right? I'm decent? Can't wait for episode 3. You and me both, STZ. You and me both. You guys think I'm worthy of being like an editor as a job, as a career? Because that's really what I would love to do. I just did this stream, one, because, you know, I want to do more of these streams in the future for my coffee supporters. Which, if you want to see more of these, you can donate $1 a month to my coffee or Patreon. I'm still deciding whether or not I should go switch to Patreon. But, like, I wanted to do this to, like, because I put so much work into these videos. So much work that I make sure that the edits look so clean and so natural that you don't notice them. And I just kind of want to show it off, because if people aren't going to notice them, like, that's the point. That's good that they don't notice these edits. But also, I put a lot of work into them, so I kind of do want people to notice, you know? But yeah, that's everything. So, for one last thing, I thought maybe we would look at every single cutout. Every single one. Just as the cherry on top. Just every single one I cut out for this episode. Just imagine in your head how much work each of these edits took. Here is every single one in order from Ice Queendom Episode 2. This episode broke me. This episode took everything I had. I worked so hard on it. But if you guys liked it, that's all that matters. So, I guess all I can say now, because goddamn my throat is sore, all I can say now is just thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing and liking. This is RWBY Abridged's 10-year anniversary. I've been doing this for 10 years. A decade. And it's been a hell of a journey, and I feel like I've improved as an editor so much. Just so much. And I hope I've demonstrated that in this stream. This very long stream. So I thank you all for being here with me and watching me go through all of this. You know what I'm hoping for this year? I'm hoping for 10,000 subs. If I can reach that goal this year, I've never gotten that far. I've never hit 10,000. But if I can do that this year, for RWBY's 10-year anniversary, that'd be pretty fucking cool. 10 years, 10,000 subs. It's just perfect. So that's what I really want. So, if I want that to happen, I gotta get back to making videos, don't I? I gotta get back on that grind. So, thank you all. Do any of you have any last questions you want to ask? Just anything else on your mind? Before I call the stream? Oh yeah, thanks J-Chip for shouting out Kiki's Abridged service. $10K and I finally do that Eye of the Cackerel cover. Oh my god, if anything, you know what? I will sell out like a whore if it'll get me to 10,000K so I can hear that cover. What made Nora crazy? I did. How are you? I'm tired, my throat hurts, but I'm very happy that y'all were here for this. I'm so happy that y'all stuck around for this long. Episode 3 of Ice Queendom should be coming soon. It should be. The script is much easier to write now that I'm not trying to dodge around the original RWBY Abridged. I'm not having to deal with recaps or retellings or only showing shit that happened in the background or off screen or any of that shit. Now that that's all done and over with, I can just do the dream stuff, do the original stuff. That should be so much easier. Thank you, J-Chip. Thank you so much. What is Weapons Magazine and how did Jean get on? Weapons Magazine is a magazine where they interview people about, where they interview huntsmen and talk about weapons and stuff like that. Pretty self-explanatory. How did Jean get on? I mean, the guy's got to have some talent. Either that or they just really did get the wrong person. Yeah, I am jinxing myself, Quinn. You're absolutely right. I wish I had something more to add to that, but no, you're right. I'm saying oh, it's going to be so much easier. It's not. It never is. It never is. I love you guys. I love you all so much. 10 years. 10 fucking years. I've got something real special planned for for September 20th of this year. Something real special planned. All right, knocking on wood. Knock on wood. Done. Thank you, Reba. Well, I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to go drink some water. Probably take a nap. And then get back to work. Get back to work, funny man. All right. Thank you all for coming. I love you all. See you. Good night. Happy 2025. And see you all next time. Later.